Hey guys, welcome back inside of the plastic. Hey guys, welcome back inside of the Plastic Planet. I am your host, Knick-Knack, hanging out with you guys tonight. Guys, it is Knick-Knack Live. It is Wednesday night. We've been doing these on Thursday nights, but we backed it up again this week just so we could get this awesome panel together for you guys tonight because we got a ton of cool shit to talk about. We've got some pickups to talk about. We have got some buy squatter pass collectibles to talk about. We've got a ton of shit to talk about, and we also are going to be talking about one of my personal favorite movies of all time, Transformers, the movie. So that's going to be our mainstay. Yes, our mainstay topic tonight is going to be, in my opinion, one of the most badass children's animated movies of all time. So anyway, we got a lot to talk about. I did want to make a couple notes. If you are watching this on repeat, do make a point to like the video. Please do like the stream. Really appreciate that. Need that for the analytics, man. The analytics kick my ass every single time. So please do like the stream. And also, like I said, if you're watching this on repeat, we do really appreciate and thank you guys so much. And the chat is filling up. Toy Mafia is in the house. What's up, Toy Mafia? And following Freddie from Florida is with us as well. Well, guys, I'm going to introduce my panel right now. I've got Austin Volvo AV from the AV Club, aka Ryan.
Yeah.
That's your gamer tag. Austin Volvo is your gamer tag, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's been my gamer tag for about 20 years now. Yeah.
So there's a lot of noobs out there that said that have had their like screen say you were killed by Austin.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't game too much anymore, but it's near and dear to my heart. Yes.
Yeah, awesome. It's good to have you with me tonight, man. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me back, guys.
Yeah, no, anytime, man, anytime. Then of course I got my two regular stay Plastic Planet brothers here. I got Harry Jabba, aka Trav. Trav, what is up, brother?
Man, just living the dream, man. Speaking of gaming, man, you know, there was a time when Harry Jamba ruled the gaming world, but then one time I was killed, and it was the best gamer tag ever. It was killed by a 99-year-old woman. So that was pretty cool. But I'm doing good and pumped up for the conversation tonight for sure.
Yeah, dude, we got a great one lined up for you guys tonight. Uncle Pat, brother, how are you, sir?
I'm doing all right.
All right, man.
Speaking of gaming as well, just learning to play guitar. Playing a little Rocksmith. I don't know if you guys have heard of Rocksmith, but
no, I haven't.
Yeah, so you plug in you buy a real electric guitar and you actually learn to play it. It's like Guitar Hero, but right chords, and it's like you play a real guitar. So I'm learning to play. The only downside is I was stuck on a fucking Nirvana song for over a day. It was bad.
Oh,
wow. Because it was Nirvana. So
Nirvana sucks. Oh yeah, Nirvana.
Right? Just think about that. You had to play Nirvana over.
Oh man, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't say this on the live stream, but I've been joking. I got two teenage boys in the house now, and of course, when they get to that certain age, we all do. We don't realize that we kind of have some odious smells, And I've just told my boys whenever they walk through the room, they need to take a shower. I'm like, I think it smells like Team Spirit in here. And that's my cue for them to go take a shower, put on some deodorant. So I love my guys. My kids are so awesome. What are you guys drinking tonight, man? What's that, Trent?
I just think you're 20 years too late, brother. You're supposed to learn the guitar when you're single, right? And you can get all the chicks flocking over to you, brother. So I commend you for learning now, but I just think you're a little tad too late, buddy.
Trying to teach this old dog some new tricks, dude.
It's all good, man. It's all good. Well, it is the happy hour here in the Plastic Planet. I know it's later for some of our East Coast brethren, but it's still only 9 o'clock here in the Mountain Time Zone here in the Mile High City, and we are drinking. And I will start out tonight. I went out to the liquor store and got this special for the live stream tonight because I didn't want to just hold up my standard Miller Lite. I headed for the mountains, boys. Heading for the mountains of Busch. Beer. I just kind of wanted I feel like we should all be camping right now, sitting around a campfire. You know what? Maybe we have some Dinty Moore stew brewing, and we're all reach into the cooler and pull out really shitty bad beer. I've got Busch. Maybe that sounds really bad, but maybe Ryan the AV, maybe he's got some Natty Light. Uncle Pat's got the champagne of beers. Trav's got some coolers. Yeah, I don't know. It's just gonna be cool.
Sounds fun.
Yeah,
Nothing would be better than roasting some marshmallows and drinking some cold ones with the fellas.
hell yeah. Well,
I'm playing on to that note. I'm drinking something called Graham Cracker Porter.
Wow.
I bought from Denver Beer Company, like the whole campfire feel. I read the box and I was just like, I got to read this to the guys. Well, I'm also drinking it. I got a Optimus Prime mug.
Oh, bringing it.
Nice.
There we go to highlight the conversation tonight. But you'll enjoy this, Knick-Knack. This is the description of it. Like a campfire in a can, this robust beauty has seductive notes of vanilla, smoked cedar, and mulling spices. A dark pour with mild lacing. She is a roller coaster of lush chocolate divinity into a semi-dry finish of roasted malt and biscuit.
Sounds like a girl
Yummy.
before I met my wife, man.
I read that. And I thought of you, man. I was like, oh my god, Knick-Knack will love that.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Travi, what do you got, man?
Well, in honor of the fruits at Disney who decided to release the Bad Batch versus all the other cool stories they could have done, I'm doing a little fruity vodka tonight rather than just the straight stuff. But I digress. We'll probably get to that later.
We may need to talk about that. That is true. I didn't even think about the Bad Batch, the announcement of the new show. How about you, Uncle Pat? You always have the most interesting one. Although you might have a run for your money tonight with AV up here.
No, AV's got a great choice. Definitely enjoy that one myself. So I'm double fisting it, I guess. Always gotta have my whiskey, so got a little Jameson Caskmates IPA edition. And then for my beer, I'm drinking. What's it? Eric's ex-wife.
Nice.
This is a hazy IPA. So there you go.
Oh, that kicks ass, dude. That kicks ass. Well, guys, we got about 12 people watching now. So yeah, it does. Like I said, we got about 12 people watching now, so it's probably about time to start the show. Let's go to the chat real fast. Like I said, we got Following Freddy in the house. We got General Grievous 2005. What's up, brother? Ginty is here. We love Ginty. Ginty's in the house. And our boy Robert, just a fan, is here. What's up, Robert? And Ed5, a.k.a. Down Under Danny. We're going to be showing off some Down Under Danny love here in just a second, and some Following Freddy love as well. And I think Paul's in the house, too. Brewer Packer Paul is in the house, and we got some love for him as well coming up. And Chicken Fried Steak is here. He is awesome. Chicken Fried Steak is in the house. I did. My wife made me do a project a couple weeks ago where I had to shovel a bunch of rock. We bought like 2 tons of basically river rock, and we put it in our front yard. And she really wanted it really packed in this corner of the yard. She really just wanted to build it up, kind of make it look kind of cool. And I did it, and I was so proud of it. And I'm friends with Chicken Fried Steak on Facebook, and my wife took a picture of me in front of it, and he said, Knick-Knack, you knucklehead, spread that shit around. You're not supposed to stack it up in one place. So thanks for that comment, Chicken Fried Steak. That was a lot of love, buddy. I appreciate that. So anyway, let's get to it, guys. Let's get to the show. Let's start things up right now. We are going to talk with new pickups. And we're going to go to the panels pickups. But first, before we do that, let's go to collector pickups this week. And if I can do a share screen here, let me bring all this up for you guys. Hopefully, I can do this right. This is the sharing in the Chrome isn't too bad, but doing the slideshow sometimes gets a little temperamental on me. Oh, you guys can see that, hopefully. Yeah, we got it up. This is Down Under Danny's. He sent me a bunch of funny shit today, and he has a bunch of little video clips that I just can't. I have a hard time playing video on when I live stream and when I do regular Knick-Knack videos. It's in a totally different system, so I wasn't able to use those. But I really appreciate it, man. He sent me some funny shit, but he got some awesome stuff this week, and I think my Marvel guys can help me out with this a little bit. He's got a Punisher Iron Man.
Yeah.
What is that,
it's
guys?
Like a
War Machine.
Future version, a future story arc where, Punisher. I mean, it's basically Punisher has an Iron Man armor suit. Then, of course, he decks out to kill lots of people with. So, I think that's really all to be said. It's cool. It lights up.
Yeah, that's a Black Series, I think, like basically from Hasbro. So that's nice. That's that's a mass produced item. That is really nice. He also got an awesome Sideshow Collectibles TIE Fighter pilot. I have the AT-AT driver of that, and that is some good shit. So that is awesome. That is awesome. He also got I think that's a vinyl statue. I'm not sure of some Ben Affleck love there as the Batman. And boy, I'm hearing all these rumors that he's coming back, guys. And I can't tell you, I am excited about that prospect.
He crushed it. Oh, I love Ben Affleck as Batman.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Batfleck is the best. I like.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think you'll get any disagreement from this panel. And then he got an Arkham Asylum Batman statue back there.
Quiet, Trev.
What's that?
The quiet.
I raised my hand, man. I disagree as Ben Affleck is the best, bro. But it's all good.
Yeah. Well, we can have that debate
Let's
another
start
time.
fighting this early.
Yeah, we can have that debate another time. Let's get through subscriber pickups. And so he got that. He got that Arkham Asylum Batman statue back there. I think that might be Polystone. That's pretty awesome. And then he got a couple Hollywood rides. You guys seeing those over there in the corner? He's got the Back to the Future DeLorean. He's got the Michael Bay Optimus Prime, and he's got the G1 Optimus Prime. I don't think those transform. I think they're just like standard, but they're just cars basically. But they're cool. I think I have the Optimus Prime. It's very cool. So that is really cool.
Before Knick-Knack, before we move on, I want to point out the vintage Star Wars bed sheets he's got as a backdrop.
Yes.
I had those.
Good eye.
And I think we all did.
I had something very similar to that.
I still have my pillowcase of that bed sheet. My dad was using it as a rag in the garage for a while.
Oh, that's sacrilege, man.
Yeah, it's still in good shape, but yeah, it's cool to see.
Yeah, that is pretty awesome. All right, so let's change up again here. Sorry guys, let me go to our next slide. Okay, this is really cool. It's not necessarily collectible related, but it's really damn cool. Let me hit share screen, application window, share, and let me come back in. All right, guys.
Oh yeah.
This is Down Under Danny, and he is fishing on the Great Barrier Reef. He sent me these pictures this week.
Is that a redfish?
Yeah, that's a red snapper, I want to say.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah, and you
That's
can
good
see
eating.
this is commercial fishing. He was a commercial fisherman for a time. This is like what's that show on Discovery, Deadly Catch or something. And he's told me stories, and maybe we'll have to have him on at some point. Him and we got to have Following Freddy on too at some point as well. But we got to have him on at some point because he has a really kick-ass story about how he almost drowned in those waders because they got filled up with water, and he ended up weighing like 300 pounds. He was going under, and he'll tell it a lot better than I can tell it. But that's him fishing on the Great Barrier Reef down in Australia.
Dude, screw that. Screw having them on. Let's just go out there and do a road show. We'll do the campfire in Australia, the Outback, bro.
Yeah, right.
That's the way we're coming to you, Down Under Danny.
Yeah. That is really freaking cool. So I hope he's watching right now. He is. It's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon down in Australia, and he's delivering. He's like a DoorDash guy. And he's delivering food to people and stuff. And he does listen to us in the car, so which is really cool. And I'm very honored to have him as a subscriber and an enthusiastic super subscriber here on the Plastic Planet. But anyway, I wanted to show that off because that is badass. That is just seriously badass. Yeah. So that is cool. So let's move on though, and we have more stuff to look at. And this is from our friend Packer Brewer Paul. He had a little pickup this week. Nothing too major. But as you guys can see, he fired up the Black Series Han and Carbonite, which is really, really cool. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think that was an online exclusive. I can't remember. But yeah, it's very, very cool. And then let's keep going. And we got a few more to get to. Oh, here's Following Freddy's. Let's see his haul this week. And let me make sure I do this right. Share. And he picked up the Black Series Snow Speeder, which I have coming, and I was wondering why the hell I hadn't gotten mine yet. So I went into Big Bad Toy Store where I ordered it from, and it was in my bag of loot. Have you guys ever ordered from Big Bad Toy Store with the bag of loot? Well, I hadn't marked it to send yet, and so it hadn't shipped. So I marked mine to ship. I will get mine in a week or so, but he got his before me, and that's really badass. I can't wait to get that item in hand. That is awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. And then
Very
finally,
cool. Nice pickup.
Yeah, very nice pickup. Very nice pickup. Finally, I think we just have one left, I think. Yeah, we just have one left. And I don't think he's watching tonight, but he is going to watch us on repeat, he said. If I can share screen. Okay, this is oops, it went away. Hang on a second, guys. Sorry. Let me just try one more time. Share screen, application window. There it is. There it is. Here it is. So this is Steven. I think this is Maverick. Sometimes I got to memorize two sets of names because I'm friends with some of you guys on Facebook and whatnot, and then I have to remember your YouTube handle. I think this is Maverick stuff. This is Steven, and he went to an estate sale this week and fired up all of that 1990s Power of the Force love there. Remember buying that stuff, guys? Oh man, yeah. I remember
Magical.
all those.
I like the lunchbox.
Yeah, he also got the lunchboxes. That was about 2 weeks ago, and I think I forgot to show it on our last live stream, so that's a make good for him. He picked up the lunchbox as well, and it looks like he's gotten a really nice acrylic case. That's a full. Yeah, it's a full-size Empire Strikes Back lunchbox from 1981. You know what's funny is that the things you associate. Now, everyone, if you follow my channel for a long time, and you know me personally, you know I hate mayonnaise, right? Every time I see the back side of that Empire Strikes Back lunchbox, I think of this kid named Chris Barnes in first grade, and he would eat mayonnaise sandwiches all the time. And I associate that like bologna and mayonnaise sandwiches, and I associate Han and Chewie with that mayonnaise sandwich. It's really gross. Anyway, that's just weird. But
I'm friends with them on Facebook if you'd like to talk to him about it.
Oh, no shit.
That's funny.
Yeah, anyway, I just pulled that name out. I'm pretty sure that was who it was. I'm not sure. Maybe that would have been second grade then. He must have had that lunchbox for a while because that was like 1983, 1984. So, yeah, that's awesome. But anyway, yeah, no, Stephen fired up those from a real an estate sale, and he said that they had a bunch of stuff there, and there were scalpers there, and it was kind of frustrating because the guys were who were just gonna buy this up on the cheap and then sell it on eBay. Were firing stuff up, but he got some pretty nice hauls there. There's some nice old Power of the Force 2 stuff. So that stuff's fun. What a gratifying collection that is, actually. If you were collecting that stuff today, because it's so cheap and there's so much of it, it's easy to get. It'd be just fun to collect if you didn't already have it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh, dude, absolutely.
Yeah. So that's
there's a lot to be said for being able to pick up many pieces. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, I mean, and it's so funny too. I was in an antique store about a year ago, and they had a shit ton of those old Power of the Force 2 figures on the green and orange cards. And dude, they were going for like $3, which is like $2 less than what they went at retail in 1996, because they were like $4.99 each in '96, as I remember. So that's just crazy. I mean, it was so funny because everyone was buying those thinking that they were buying the next vintage collection, because, in the 90s, well, now especially too, but in the 90s as well, vintage Star Wars was worth so much damn money, and especially on card, and people thought that these were going to be, the same thing in 20 years, and oh, how wrong we were, but still a fun collection anyway, as long as you're not buying it for monetary reasons. Really cool.
We didn't buy it for monetary reasons.
We didn't. We opened our shit up.
Yeah.
We opened our shit up. But I knew people that were buying them because they thought they were going to be worth something.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, no, it's funny now. But anyway, that is collector pickups. But how about the panel this week? And let's start out with the AV Club, Austin Volvo. And did you get anything this week, man? Or anything?
Yeah, well, I got this a couple weeks ago. Continuing on to my Pops collection,
Nice.
Iron Man. So I don't know. I think it's pretty cool.
That's nice, man.
Yeah. And then I also got this. It's not a collectible, but just kind of emphasizing my Iron Man love. When I was in the Navy, my squadron was actually the VQ3 Ironman. So I bought a mask.
Cool.
I bought a mask. That's my squadron logo.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Dude, I like that. That's very cool, man.
Yeah, I meant to tell you guys that last time when we were talking about our Mount Rushmore of superheroes, and that was that was another reason why I liked Iron Man so much. It's just
hey, and thanks for serving. I didn't know that, man. Thanks for serving.
No, thank you. Yeah.
We were talking the other night, AV and I and Ginty, we were doing a Zoom call together, and we were talking, and I'm not going to put you on the spot, but AV Ryan was telling some awesome stories from boot camp. I won't put you on the spot now on the live stream, but man, it was. I got to tell you, man, I would be such a vajayjay. I wouldn't have made it after hearing his stories, dude. He is a badass. So we give the Plastic Planet salute to AV, man.
You're cutting yourself short there, Nick.
No way, man. No way, dude. No way. Badass.
Yeah, they're not here to hear boot camp stories. They want to hear.
No, man. No. I know. Maybe someday we'll have you on. We'll have a boot. I think if you ever want to, man, we'll have you on, and we'll talk a little bit about that because
okay. Well, yeah. If everybody, if you get consensus that people want to hear stuff, we'll do it.
Oh man, at some point we'll have to do that. That's awesome. How about you, Uncle Pat? Did you pick up anything this week, bro?
Not a damn thing. I did say I will give a little anecdote. Remember we were talking last week about that X-Transbot Scourge?
Yeah.
Right? That's coming out. So, interestingly enough, I had it pre-ordered a different version for $20 less. And X-Transbots canceled that. But Big Bad Toy Store just basically moved it over to the cartoon version, which I like better. And
nice.
At the original price. So, because that was like $179, so I'm getting it for $159. So, it's better than a sharp stick in the eye. So I guess that counts.
Nice, dude. Right? That is awesome.
Yeah, very nice.
That is cool. Before I get to Trav, because Trav actually has some cool shit, I just wanted to throw this out here. And I covered this in one of my last videos, actually about a week ago. But I wanted to kind of make an amendment on this because I talked about this. I picked this awesome Kermit the Frog phone up. And again, I talked about this in one of my videos, so I apologize if this is a little redundant. But I picked this up in an antique store here locally in North Glen, Colorado. I picked it up at the Wagon Wheel Antique Store. And I found it for 50 bones, $50, guys. And again, it's got all the cords. I think if I went upstairs and plugged this into the wall, which you can't plug into the wall anymore, it'd have to be like the Wi-Fi cable, but we do have a landline here. I think it would work. I mean, the receiver works, everything. This guy is amazing. And I did some more research on it after I did the video, and I probably should have done it before I did the video, but whatever. I did some eBay research, and this guy is going for well over $100 to $150 on eBay. Yeah, so I got him for 50, which is a super score. And then I did some more reading about this particular phone. And this phone, not this exact phone, but this phone sat on Jim Henson's desk for years. How fucking cool is that? So, that is damn cool. So this is an awesome pickup. I just wanted to show it off again. I'm really excited. I love me the Muppets, and I love me Kermit the Frog. So, to have an awesome, real vintage Kermit the Frog, in a telephone is really, really cool. And I'm going to kind of gently put him back over on the desk so I don't drop him because I got nothing.
You should get a picture of Jim Henson at his desk with that phone in the background.
I should try to find one. I don't know if I didn't get photographic evidence of it, but I read a thing about it and said that it was rumored that he had one of those on his desk. So
I bet you can find that.
Probably. Yeah. It's like Gene Roddenberry's desk. He always had a Starship Enterprise on his desk for years and years and years. Yeah. So that's my new pickup. Now let's get to Trav, because Trav is going to get a Plastic Planet salute for bad financial decisions here, because he was so awesome this week. So go ahead, Trav.
Yeah. Well, first, I did come through with the bet we had, Knick-Knack, when you ordered that Transformer to come through with the Darth Maul Mythos. So I placed that. That one's a little ways off. That one's coming, I think it's January. But I'm so excited to get that, right? With all that red, a statue, I think that's going to pop. But then over the weekend, old Knick-Knack sent a text noting that the new Jabba the Hutt was on sale. And, I guess since I kind of go by Harry Jabba, I just had to get it. This was a figure I've been looking at for a while. I bought the original one, but then they came out with this one, and I was always pissed because I love the one I have, right? But it was always just a little too small, and I felt like they nailed it at this one. And a couple of times, I've been putzing with the fellas down at a local store called Hero Headquarters, and they had one on display there. And man, every time I went by it, when you just covet something. Every time you go by, they just kind of drool that. I was like, oh my gosh. So I finally broke down, ordered it. The cool thing is, like, I think it's already shipping. So I should have this thing next week. But I'm totally excited. You know, I think what kind of pushed me over the edge, I mean, the price is actually very high, but what pushed me over the edge, you know, I think I'll always like kind of my life-size figures top. But I was like, man, I think I'm going to enjoy this piece. This would be my favorite piece aside from the life size. You know, this would be my top piece. So I'm like, if I can get, and it's kind of funny when you collect, right? Like, what goes through your head if you're going to make a purchase, right? And for me, it's kind of like, I kind of look at a couple of things. One, kind of the breadth. I've been kind of doing that with General Giant a little bit. Two, is it going to pop, right? And then three, is it going to be, where's it going to fit in your collection, right? Is it going to be one of your best pieces, middle of the road, lower pieces? You want, you know, in different times in your collection career, you're going to get through all of them. And then kind of the fourth piece for me is it a top character? And Jabba the Hutt is like a resounding yes. Easily top 10, maybe even top 5 for me in the Star Wars universe, but he's up there. So all of that, made the bad financial choice and pulled the trigger on that.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, Trav, I was looking at this last night because you said you ordered it, and I even talking about being stupid. I even was like looking at because it says you can buy it with a firm, so you can finance this. Not that I don't have the cash to buy it, but I don't want to like blow that much money in 1 month. So, but there's the flex pay option, but I'm like, the flex pay is still almost $200 a month, and I'm like, but I could buy it with a firm and only pay $70 a month, spread out over several months. I'll never miss it.
Did you do it?
No, but I did sign up.
Man.
I did get pre-approved with the firm. Allegedly, they don't do a hard credit check on you when you do that. They say, I hope not, because we're in the middle of a house refinance right now, and my wife will kill me if my credit takes a tiny dip because I was looking at coveting a Jabba the Hutt.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Sorry, babe.
Yeah.
But I am totally stoked, and when I get it, we can do a review on it. But I think the eyes and the tongue and the mouth, it's magnetic pieces, so you can change it out. I can't wait. In the store, they have it displayed with the tongue out, and I got to tell you, it just looks dynamite. So super excited on this piece.
That photo that Knick-Knack's got it on right now. I mean, it's just it's a cool look. It looks like he's plotting. It's like he's like 10 steps ahead of whoever he's talking to right now.
Yeah. And you know what's so cool is like all the eyes, the mouth, the arms are all magnets. So you can interchange everything. And it's all magnets. It's beautiful. It is beautiful. Now, Trap, I doubt your lovely wife will be watching this. So I think you can be honest. Did you tell her?
You know what's good what stays with the fellas, you know what's good for the fellas stays with the fellas.
That's right.
Hey, we're at the campfire right now.
That's right.
There you go, man.
That's right, guys. We've been neglecting the chat a little bit, so let's jump to the chat for just a couple seconds here. Let's see here. Let me go all the way up because we've kind of missed a bunch here. Let's see here. Chicken fried steak. I was talking about my rocks earlier in the video, how he made fun of me for my rocks. He said, "Let's be honest. She didn't say stack them 4'3" tall." LOL. It's not quite that high, but it's all good, man. Robert Just a Fan says, I bought a Hot Toys Jedi Luke 2.0 body since I already have the one ST version. $100 better than buying it for 500. Yeah, that's awesome, dude. Whenever you can find those little workarounds, and that Jedi Luke Hot Toys, both versions are amazing. Says Robert Just Fan else says, kind of bugs me. Does Punisher wearing Rodney's armor? Again, I'm not a Marvel guy, so I don't know. You guys would know that. Fallen Freddy still has the pillowcase. I think he's talking about down under Danny's Star Wars bed sheets. And let's see here. General Grievous 2005 says, yeah, I have that pile of loot. Sometimes I forget there's stuff in there. Yeah, I totally forgot. I just thought it would ship. And I was kind of like thinking, why hasn't mine shipped yet? And I just went in there tonight. I'm like, well, I got to click for it to ship. So that kind of blew. But anyway, it's coming now. And Fallen Freddy says, I'm going to love the snow speeder. So yeah, I can't wait to get it, man. I can't wait to get it. It's going to be great. And yeah, let's see here. Down Under Danny confirms that was a red snapper we were looking at with him on the boat. That was badass. That was super badass. And he is driving right now, so he'll probably be in and out. But we just love having you here, man. Thank you so much. Yeah. And then Robert just Fence says Boba Fett was the only decent one. He looked good in any mode. Yeah, Boba Fett's awesome anyway. You get it. And Robert just Fence says boot camp, always good stories. I think Robert just Fence served as well, so I think he would probably have a few as well. And then General Grievous 2005 says I love the Muppets, as we have the whole series on DVD. Yeah, I love the Muppet Show, especially the one with Mark Hamill. That's my favorite. Love the Muppet Show. Yeah, really cool. Fallen Freddy says Jabba looks great. I wouldn't mind one myself. Hopefully one day. Yeah, that's the thing. Oh, and the Tattoo Toe Hunter's in the house. So what's up, Kevin? So yeah, that's the thing, man. It's like that Jabba. Go ahead, Trav.
Ed 5 has one coming, so that's awesome, man.
Yeah, that's cool. The one thing with the Jabba too is like it's like I think it's like they just got it back in stock, so it's kind of like you snooze you lose now. I think once that thing goes out of Sideshow, I think it's going to sell for over $1,000. So I mean, if you're going to buy it, buy that shit now. I don't know. I think you're smart, man. I think you're smart. I'm still tempted, but I still got mine. I still got my old Sideshow one from back in the day, and it's like I don't know if it's so cool, but is it $800 cooler than the one I already have? That's the question.
I get it, man. Yeah. I get it.
Yeah, that's always the question. Uncle Pat, you've been on the fence about that piece. Any thoughts still about it?
I considered it for like a hot second, but it's just still too. I mean, I don't know. I'm excited that Trav's going to get it. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. What if you could take out a little loan on the thing and only pay $70 a month, Uncle Pat?
I'm sorry. I know we're going to do a room tour soon, but I don't have the room for that thing.
But only $70 a month. You probably spend that a week on dumb shit, and now you can have Jabba.
I can buy it right now.
It's like a siren, asking you to crash into the rocks.
Right.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, because like, and I did look at their plans, the little finance plan they have, because I'm like, how much interest am I going to pay on this stupid thing, right?
What was it, like 25% or something?
No, it's pretty low. Well, I don't know what the percentage was, but the total over the course of the loan, like if you went with the lowest tier, you'd spend, I think you'd end up spending about $50 or $60 in interest, but not bad if you could spread it out over like 7, 8, 10 months, you know, I mean, it's not a great financial decision. I'm not advocating anyone do it, but but if you really want it, I think it's nice they give you that option, that Sideshow understands that these pieces are so goddamn expensive, and they give you that option.
It
I will
is.
say this. I'll say this. I do think that because you remember when this first came out, I was super excited because I looked at yours for how many years and wanted one so bad because I loved that piece, the Sideshow one, and just. When it came out, it was like, oh, yeah, they're doing one. I got to give it another chance. And then it was like $800. I'm like, fuck you, $800 for that?
It's expensive, man.
I mean, like, Trav, you got a whole other level of like, that's like maybe your grail. Like, you've obsessed over that. So I totally get it if I obsessed over it. I just, again, it came back around.
That's right.
So no,
anyway,
it's cool. I don't want to knock anybody else's decision to buy that piece because at the end of the day, I'd love to have it, but
dude, at the end of the day, all this stuff has gotten too expensive. It's crazy. At the end of the day, right? It's cool as hell, but it's just the price points are. We talked about this, right? It's crazy.
That's totally to piggyback off the conversation we had 2, 3, 4 weeks ago. Yeah. No, it's all too expensive, and I think as collectors, we've just kind of accepted it. I really do. Yeah, I think that maybe that's our bad, but I think we have. All right, guys.
And also the secondary market. I know that helped drive me, right? Because all of a sudden you get FOMO, right? Because you're like you said, right? It's like, holy cow, if I don't buy it now, well, on the secondary market a year from now, this thing's probably going to be going for $1,200, $1,400, and
totally.
So not only the price. So I guess they're pricing it right if you consider the secondary market for most of this stuff. is going way up, you know. So it's just a weird kind of state of the collectible universe, I guess.
No, it is. It is. It's like that. It's like on television when you're watching bad cable television. They have the commercials on for like the U.S. silver coins, and they have the narrator on there. He's like, "Buy now to avoid future."
Right.
You know? So,
right, but once you've been burned, like the sales bar, like so, and part of my line of thinking, you know, I've been kind of coveting the sales barge, right? The sell barge. Well, that goes for $1,200, and at the end of the day, I was like, oh hell, if I can get a polystone Java, right, with a throne and everything else for 50% less, or for 40%, whatever the number is, right, for significantly less compared to a cheap plastic sales barge, I'm like, I'm in. So I kind of redirected that way.
Yeah, I hear you. Hey, guys, just to go back to the chat real fast, two things. We have a very special person in the chat today. One of my personal great friends, B-Row, is in the chat.
Oh,
Brian,
my God.
Chat. Yeah, Brian worked with Ryan and I at our company, and he is in the chat, and he says, you guys are all handsome and expensive. Yes, we are. I hope he is living well up there in the Northwest, up by Buffalo, up by Niagara Falls, where he lives now. And well, it's good to see you, bro. Thanks for checking in on the Plastic Planet. And then Robert Just a Fan has a question for Uncle Pat. He says, "What is the high price item you'd love to get?" Like, I think he wants to know, like, what's your grail? What high price item would you like to get?
Dude, that's really put me on the spot. I have to think about it. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. I mean, I've got a few in the hopper, right? I mean, they're all bots at the moment, but. You know what? Maybe one that a part of me. There are two that would really tickle my fancy if I ever got a chance to get. They're both Masters of the Universe. Scareglow. I mean, he's a stupid figure, but he's expensive. Like, to get one intact and not piece it together. I don't know if you guys remember Scareglow. He liked glow in the dark. He's a skeleton guy.
Oh yeah,
with the purple cape. It was really a random character.
Cool.
Scareglow, and then
speaking of Masters of the Universe, AV, you got to
I had a comment on that. Yeah, the shirt's awesome.
There we go.
Yeah.
And then the Terror Claws Skeletor. I don't know if you guys remember. It was like the back end stuff. They started there was Thunder Punch He-Man and Dragon Blaster Skeletor. They all had some stupid feature, but Terror Claws was hilarious because he had these giant white claws, and he's expensive to get. So I'd say maybe those are hundreds of dollars figures. So for an old little plastic figure,
I wouldn't have suspected your two holy grails to be He-Man, but that's cool, man.
Well, dude, I covet my He-Man collection. I love my He-Man stuff.
You have an awesome
right
He-Man
here,
collection.
all my stuff.
And I swear to God, guys, we are going to get over to Uncle Pat's very soon and do a full room tour. We've been teasing this for like 6 months. It's going to happen. In our defense, there's been a little bit of a pandemic. Some people have been getting sick, I hear, across the country. So we haven't been able to get over there. But we are going to do it very, very soon. Let's hear Paul, just to go back to the chat real fast before we start by squad or pass. Paul says, Trav, you chose wisely. I think he's funneling his inner Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade there, but I think he's referring to your awesome Java. So congratulations.
Thanks. I think he's referring to versus the cell barge, the Java versus the cell barge.
Oh yeah, dude, without a doubt. Yeah, I still got to give you a Plastic Planet salute. We always give Plastic Planet salutes to people who make bad financial decisions, and Travi, you are the salute this week. So
financial diarrhea.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. Well, it's time for my favorite part of the show. It is time for Buy, Squat, or Pass. And this is the part of the show where we talk about items that we buy. And if we do say we're going to buy it, that means we are going to buy it. That's why we have the squat option. So if you say squat, that means you're thinking about it and you're on the fence. So that's why we always got to give the squat option, because it's not like extremes here. It's either buy it or don't. And then pass, where it's like you're definitely not going to get it, piece of shit, or it's just not your thing. So let's go on to Buy, Squat, or Pass, and let's start out tonight. We have a couple items to show off, and some of these I pulled up. Some of these were suggestions from the panel, and some of these I pulled up from my Facebook feed. You guys get those weird sales on Facebook, and you're like, hey, that looks kind of cool. Well, this came up on my Facebook feed tonight, and it feeds into our central topic, which we'll be getting to here in about 20, 25 minutes, and that is Transformers, the movie. So let me go into our share screen here, and let me pull this up for you guys if I can find it. There it is. Share. This is a piece of artwork. I don't know if you guys can see it, and it is I don't know what, I got a weird notice there on the computer. Hopefully everything's okay. Anyway, so this is a die-cast metal print from, I think it was from San Diego Comic-Con 2019, and it's die-cast metal, and I think it has magnets on the back. I think it retails, depending on the size, between $40 and like $80, $89. This is the large, and the XL is even higher. But I love this print, and I am really considering getting the small size that the nice little gal there is holding up. And I think that's only $40. I love this. I believe this could be a buy for me. So I'm like a hard squat right now, but leaning towards buy, because I love this, because you got, again, I think it was a 2019 San Diego Comic-Con art print exclusive. You got Rodimus Prime centralized in the middle there with this spherical kind of thing going on. You got Unicron, you got Optimus Prime and Megatron, you got Galvatron and Ultra Magnus. This is a great piece, and I'm really damn close to picking it up. How about you, AB? Would you buy this? Is this buy, squat, or pass?
Oh, this is totally buy. That's a good deal, man. I think this would look great in the Plastic Planet. You know, it's like it's a new take on a classic movie. You know, I think it's awesome.
I love it. Would you buy it, though? Would you buy it? I'm not asking if I should buy it.
I would. Yeah, I would.
Yeah. Pretty awesome, right?
That means you're going to buy it?
Yeah.
That's what you're saying?
Remember the rules. Remember the rules.
We went easy on you last time, but now
I know. This might look kind of cool above my fish tank. So, all right, I'll do it. All
right. The AV Club's bought a thing on the Plastic Planet. That's a salute, boys. Salute to bad financial purchases. Salute. That is awesome.
Austin, I thought it was going to take us 2 to 3 months to break you down. It's pretty cool that you only lasted two shows.
That's a good deal, though, and it's pretty sweet. You know, that's
yeah. You know, and it was funny.
I'm okay with this.
It was funny too, because I wasn't sure if this was a reputable company, but then again, I saw this on Facebook, and it said it lists your friends that like it, and apparently Austin Volvo likes Displate. So, have you ordered from this company before?
No, I think I was actually, speaking of my fish tank, I think I was looking for like corny posters of the movie Orca. You know,
okay.
And I was actually thinking about having that for the Jaws the shark discussion. You know, just how the studio said, fuck you, Jaws, we got a killer whale. Fuck you. So I was thinking about buying one of those, but no, that's I have no problem buying that. Yep. That's okay.
Pretty sweet. That's pretty sweet. Again, I think you can get the small size for like about $40, and I think it has magnets on the back. Everything. It's really nice. It's metal. Yeah. It's not like a print. How about you?
I got a ton of empty. As you can see from behind me, a ton of empty wall space in my basement. So it's
you need it.
It'll find a home in the man cave.
Yeah. You need it. All right, man. Well, if we have you back, when you have you back on, we want to see it. So,
okay.
All right, man. All right. How about you, Travi? Would this be a buy, squat, or pass for you? I know you're not as big of a Transformer guy as we are, but
yeah. So I'll just say the fact that it's die cast is badass cool. I mean, that's pretty neat. I'm a big proponent of things made out of the right materials. So that's pretty cool. It's a cool line, Transformers. I think it's a great piece. I like it a lot, but for me, it's a pass. I would actually say I think this has too much going on in it. It's got the Matrix. It's got so many characters and blasted. Like, I'd rather just see an Optimus or Rodimus against Megatron or something, like kind of more something, maybe not quite as busy, but cool piece,
man. It's a good summary piece of the film.
It is. Hey, no doubt about that, brother. No doubt.
So you're a little more of a minimalist. That's okay. How about you, Uncle Pat? Buy, squat, or pass?
Pass. Oh, I mean, it's cool, but I have zero wall space anyways, so I have a bunch of posters that aren't even going to see the light of day. So I'll just say a pass on that one. But I do think it would look good in the Plastic Planet.
I love it. I love it so much. I love it. It makes my nipples hard. Yeah, no, I don't know, man. I think I'm leaning towards buying that one. I really love that one a lot.
There you go.
It's a
I'm
great-
sure one of the guys can put another bet for you together sometime tonight.
Yeah, dude, I will make a confession. I didn't order that Omega Supreme yet. I will. I promise. Because we talked about that last week. I know. I said I'd buy it.
That means you have to order the poster just for the delay, man. That's a penalty delay. That's a $40 penalty delay.
I promise. I will order it. I just had that my whole bag of loot ship out with the snow speeder.
Being taxed.
Yeah, I'll order it. I promise. All right, guys. Well, let's get to our next piece. We got a lot to get to. So let me go to share screen. Let me go to Chrome tab. All right. So what is next? Let's talk about. Okay, this is. Okay, well, let's do one more. Let's do one more piece of art real fast before we get to some other stuff, because I think this is pretty good. This is on SideshowCollectibles.com. This is a Ghostbusters fine art piece. I just think it's kind of neat. Let me kind of give you guys a couple different shots of this thing. It's very cool. I think you got the 4 Ghostbusters there. Really amazing portraits there. You got Slimer. You got the Terror Dogs down there. You got Dana, and what was Rick Moranis' character name in Ghostbusters, guys? I'm totally like pulling a brain fart there.
I forgot. It's the best, one of the best lines ever. Like, all right, guys, who brought the dog?
Yeah, no, I know. Awesome. But anyway, there it is. There's the whole thing. Pretty goddamn awesome, if you ask me. This is a pass for me, unfortunately. I think, how much was it? Let me just get back to the price point on that. I'm sorry, guys. It was $95. I think it's like on it's a print, so it comes on Glycee, which is a really high quality paper. Correct, Uncle Pat? You're the artist.
That's correct.
Yeah, so it comes on like a really high quality paper. It's nice shit. It's a pass for me though. I wouldn't buy it, but I love it. I do love it a lot. And I need more Ghostbuster representation in the Plastic Planet. I'm working on that. Let's go to you, Uncle Pat. Would this be a buy, squat, or pass?
Definitely a pass. It looks all right, but I'm not quite sure. It feels, I mean, I'd have to be familiar with the artist's work, but it feels, just from looking at what I see here, it feels very Photoshop, man.
Really? Okay. You're the artist. You are an artist, and you know what? I have shown off your artwork here on the Plastic Planet, and I think you are a certifiable. You should be like, you shouldn't have a real job. You should be doing art for a living. So tell us, what don't you like about it?
Again, it just feels very, and it may not be like if you saw it in person. Like, you know, there's guys like Drusen, which you guys probably know from all of our favorite Star Wars posters, right? Especially for like new updated editions that Lucas did, right? You remember those posters? You probably have.
Yeah,
some.
The special edition posters.
Yeah, and then the prequel posters as well. So I mean, but he did a lot of tracing. I don't know. I just looking at it, it feels really photoshopped, and I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, that's fair, dude.
But this is way, like, the resolution's small. I can't really see.
Yeah, that's true.
So it could
fair.
be the best thing ever. That some artist is just an amazing artist, and he just totally did that. And quite frankly, he's better than me because he's got a print on Sideshow that they're selling for $95. So, right? Don't look at me.
Don't short sell yourself, dude. You're an amazing artist. I think everyone in the panel and everyone.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, yeah.
You're an amazing artist.
Well, thank you. You guys are blowing smoke up my skirt, but thank you.
Oh, dude, that's
smoke up my skirt.
Dude, that's your weekly Plastic Planet rub off. So enjoy it. You're an amazing artist. So yeah. How about you, AV? Would you buy this?
No, I would. If you go back to the full photo of it, you know, it just kind of feels like it's got too much stuff going on. You know, it's just, even though I kind of contradicted myself because it's, you know, this is a summary of the pretty good summary of the movie, but it just seems like out of balance. And like the past point looks like it's Photoshop. Like Slimer doesn't work in there. You know, it just doesn't know what it wants to be. You know, as far as I can tell, I wouldn't buy this.
It is very. You're right. It is very busy. That can work sometimes, but it's very. Yeah, this one just seems a little disjointed. But,
yeah. To go to the chat before we go to Trav there. Ed5 Danny says Vince Clawful. That's Rick Moranis' character, Vince. Vince,
really?
Vince, yeah, I think so. Yeah, Yeah. And then Paul says, I can't stand when artists just paint an existing photo. So lazy. You see that, Uncle Pat?
What's that?
Paul says, I can't stand when artists just paint an existing photo. So lazy. You see that there?
Yeah. No, I mean, I think that's just it. Is, I mean, you don't want to knock another artist because it's a valid. It does take method and know-how to do something in Photoshop. It really does. But I don't know. I just feel like that's the way we've gone. We've gone so far away from, like, you remember the movie posters we grew up with? Dude, that was like, you had Frank Frazetta, doing movie posters and stuff. And now, it's just like they just do a bunch of like photographs and mush them together in a Photoshop print. And there we go. So I don't know. It's a lost art form.
Yeah, kind of is. How about you, Trav? You've been looking at it intently. Buy, squat, or pass?
Dude, I think I disagree with the fella. I mean, it's a squat for me, just because I'm not buying Ghostbuster stuff. But man, I actually really enjoy this piece. Dude, I think it's kind of campy, but so is the movie. But dude, it's got the Terror Dogs on there, and for me, Slimer standing out like that, this pops, baby. This pops. And for me, it's busy, but it's busy on the ends, right? And so to me, in my opinion, right, like I just like that framework better. So that's where I kind of make that distinction. But dude, I think it pops, dude, and Slimer makes it along with the Terror Dogs.
Yeah, I do love it. It does have sort of a three-dimensional feel to it when you look at it from in this picture.
It does, yeah.
You got the building, I forget the name of the building, but then you got the Ghostbusters logo, you got the 4 Ghostbusters, you got Slimer, and you got the Terror Dogs coming out. It does sort of pop. It really does pop. It's not a bad piece. Again, it's a pass. I won't buy it. I'll just be honest. But it's pretty damn nice.
Just to clarify, guys, so Rick Moranis' character is Louis Tully.
Oh, Lewis. You're right. Right.
Lewis.
Right.
Cool. I would love to go to a party of Lewis.
Yeah, Lewis. Yeah. I love the Ghostbusters, man. We'll have to do a show about the Ghostbusters at some point. I love the Ghostbusters, man. Paradox Nerd is in the house. Paradox Nerd. And so I just wanted to give a shout out to PJ for joining us tonight. Thanks, PJ. If you guys love Star Wars talk, do tune into the Sith podcast he runs. It's great Star Wars chat. I've been a part of it on a few occasions. Really, really fun. PJ's a great YouTuber. He does 4K, boys. You'll never see 4K on the Plastic Planet. Not to undersell my shit, but you probably won't. He does 4K, awesome reviews of Hot Toys figures, and he's got connections in like freaking like Hong Kong, and he gets them before anybody else does. So shout out to PJ. Thanks for joining us tonight, bro. Let's see here. Robert Just a Fan says, Uncle Pat, what do you think of this Rembrandt? Meh, it's okay, LOL. So I think Robert Just a Fan is throwing a little shade at you, bro.
Could be better.
Let's not compare Rembrandt to the movie poster we just saw, guys.
Yeah,
we can do better.
I agree.
We can.
Yeah, guys. Hey, guys. Just briefly before we go on to our next item, we have 17 people watching tonight. Fantastic. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. Big Plastic Planet applause for everyone joining us tonight. Really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Yeah, thank you guys so much. And let's get on to our next item. Let's go to the share screen here. Let me see here. What haven't we shown off yet? Oh, we got to get to this. And I am really glad that I got my friends on here tonight who are more Marvel guys than I am, because I'm not a big Marvel fan. This is an instant pass for me. Not that I don't think it's gorgeous. Not that I don't think it's cool. I'm a DC guy, but it's not because I don't like Marvel. It's like a Coke or Pepsi thing for me. I just prefer my particular brand of superheroes. But this is really awesome. And let's go to Buy Squad or Pass on this one. This is a statue. It's $155. It's by Iron Studios. Now, I don't own anything from Iron Studios, but boy, I've heard good things about Iron Studios. They have some really, really damn good stuff. And let's kind of get a few shots of this thing. Look at that. I mean, that is awesome. This is Iron Man. This is from the end of Endgame, right?
Yes,
it is. Yeah, that's Endgame.
It's the final moment of the MCU universe, basically. Currently,
the final moment, because they're going to make more movies. But
yeah,
I'm just kidding.
But I mean, it's it started off basically with Iron Man and ended with him, and it's a huge moment in comic book movie history.
Yeah.
I wanted to see what you all thought of this. This was my submission for the week, and I've been eyeing this thing probably for like 3 months, because I'm just such a big fan of the MCU, and I just didn't want to see if you guys thought this was a good value or not.
Well, it's very small, as you guys can see right there in that scale. You got the guy with the hairy arm showing it off. It's very small, unless he's a big dude. But what were the dimensions on that again? Let me go back. I'm sorry.
About 6 inches by 6.
So it's 5.5. It's 5.5 inches tall. So it's no bigger than it's no taller than a Black Series figure. So it is very small.
Yeah.
But it is beautiful.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Again, this is a pass for me just because it's not my brand. It's not my, and I love Iron Man, dude. Iron Man and Spider-Man are like my 2 top favorite Marvel superheroes, but it's just not my thing so much. But Uncle Pat, let's go to you first. Is this a buy squad or pass? It's probably a pass for you, but what do you think about it?
Hard pass, but and I think it looks like it has a light up feature. So is the one question I have is, does it say if the light up feature is like you plug it in, or is
let's see. Let me jump out of there. Let me go down in the let's see here. Limited base based on original movie reference. It's okay. So it's just under 6 inches tall.
Yep. Doesn't say.
Doesn't say. I don't know.
I mean, the pictures look like it lights up, right?
Yeah, his chest piece there. Yeah,
well,
I don't know.
The power stones and the lightning, the power arcing through him.
Yep.
Looks like that lights up too.
Dude, I think it's beautiful. I think it is a beautiful piece. It's very small, but again, it's an Iron Studios piece, and Iron Studios does not put out poop. I'll just put it that way.
Right.
And so for $155, I think that's a nice price for an Iron Studios piece, even though it is small.
Well, this is what I was going to say.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I was jumping ahead. Go ahead, Uncle Pat.
No. So considering the person that's looking at buying this, I think given the price point and what I believe you get, I would say it's definitely a good, if you're a big Iron Man, Marvel movies fan, like I know Mr. Volvo you are.
Yep.
I would say this would be a good grab because it, especially for someone that's not like heavy in collecting and got all these big things and is not wanting to spend $200-300+ That's a pretty solid, I think, and I do think it lights up. And knowing Iron Studios rep too, I mean that would be a pretty solid piece for $150. That'd be something you could put out. And the nice thing about it too is it's not huge. Like all this stuff we talk about, the Java, right? The thing's gigantic. Where do you put that? This could go on your desk. This could go somewhere.
That's exactly what I was thinking about it.
Right? So it's a lot more home friendly than some of the stuff we'll look at here on the Plastic Planet. So
yeah, just to go to the chat real fast. Let's see here. Paradox Nerd and PJ knows his shit. PJ does know his shit. He's an avid premium collector. He says mind blowing, and he just did a review on the Heath Ledger statue as well. So PJ knows this shit. PJ's on board. Following Freddy says, I've seen all these Iron Studio Marvel stuff on display at Universal. Following Freddy's down in Florida, and so he goes to Universal and Disney World all the time. And he says at Universal they look top notch. So really cool. Yeah. So what do you think, Trav? You're more of a Marvel guy too. So what do you think, Trav?
I am an MCU guy. I love the movies. Dude, I think this looks dynamite. My only issue with it is the size. Kind of that 6-inch scale, just isn't my cup of tea. Having said that, though, if this was, 12-inch, the price would be double, if not more. So
dude, if this was a 12-inch, if this was a larger statue, this would be $300, $400, $500, $600, $700.
Yeah. So, for me, I'm not collecting that size, but as far as like the mold and the arc and it's an iconic scene, dude, I think it's dynamite, man. And I think Austin Volvo should go for a twofer tonight, and ring that bell twice.
All right, Austin. All right, all right, man. We're throwing it down.
I'm glad I brought this on because I told Knick-Knack for a couple of months I've been eyeing this thing, but the size has thrown me off a little bit, but I do want it on my desk, at my home desk. So I think I've been hemming and hawing on this thing for quite a bit. I think I'm going to do it. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Bad financial purchases. No,
That's true.
no, seriously,
That's true, man. That's,
dude, it's Iron Studios. You're getting a good product.
by the end of the night, it's going to be 10.
No, I think you're getting a good product. And you know what? We have AV on a lot. I love having AV on because he brings really, I don't want to say he's a non-collector, but he is kind of a non-collector, but he brings that like sane perspective to our conversations, this outside sane perspective. But he loves this shit too. He loves it. He just hasn't fully committed yet to the dark side of spending your kid's college fund on shit, But no, seriously, I think this is a good piece. I think I know how much you love these films, and I think you would just adore this on your desk every single day. But don't bring it into work.
It kind of slips under the radar too, with a wife, if it's just like, on my desk, and it's just like it replaces like current pop instead, like this one, or replaces that one. It's just like, she won't know the difference.
She'll never know.
Exactly, bro.
You just got to be smooth about it. She will never know.
Dude, I gotta tell you what, man. I'm so thankful for the chats, like following Freddie and some of these people talking about Iron Studios, because I've seen a couple of Star Wars Iron Studios that I was highly interested in, but I've never just seen a piece live, I don't think. So it's great to know that it's good quality stuff, man. And we'll have to make a trip and come to yours, AV, when you get yours in, man. But that might be a new line because I've seen some Star Wars one that aren't 6-inch, but maybe like 10 or 11 inches. I think I've seen a couple just like 1 or 2 inches below the 12-inch line, and so some of those Iron Studios might be options for me for sure.
Yeah, I do not know shit about Iron Studios, but I've heard such good things. There's a really good Friday night. I'll go ahead and plug them. They're good guys. Darth Castle on YouTube. It's a bunch of guys. They talk statues all the time. They're East Coast dudes, good dudes. I think PJ Paradox Nerd's on that crew as well, and they talk statues every Friday night. And I think they can attest to Iron Studios. Again, I don't know a lot about it. I do not own a single piece of Iron Studio stuff in my collection because I'm not really a statue guy. Occasionally, I order a premium format from Hot Toy or from Sideshow, but I'm more of an action figure dude. But yeah, dude, I think this is awesome. And so is this a buy? Is this a buy for you, Austin Bobo?
It is. I mean, just like off of what Harry Java and Pat said, and looking at some of these comments, and like I said, I've been I feel like I've been pretty patient with this piece. I've waited a while to make a decision on it, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Yeah.
You got a big fan club here because everyone is very supportive of this decision of yours. Following Freddie, it says you won't be disappointed, Austin. And following Freddie's a good guy. He knows his shit. Let's hear. Paul says Iron Studios has some great Jurassic Park pieces too. Yeah, we need to look at those. I don't have them queued up. Maybe next time we'll talk some dinos because I want to talk some dinos here on the Plastic Planet too. I showed Uncle Pat those a few months ago. Remember those Iron Studio Jurassic Park stuff I sent over to you when we were at work? Yeah. Amazing stuff. Like amazing. Like these are like thousands of dollars, but they're amazing. So, but I mean, I know this is small. It's not that small, but it's small. But I think you're going to be very, very, very happy. So awesome. So all right. So we are converting AV as we go here, and hopefully we can get them to spend more money before the night is over. Because we've got them up to almost $200. I'm really excited.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So let's move on. Let's move on to our next piece tonight, and I have a couple more pieces chimed up here, and this is really cool. Let's do this one, guys. I was looking at Etsy. Like, I'm trying to think outside of the box besides just Sideshow pieces and Hot Toys pieces and stuff like that. This is Etsy. I know Trav's bought some Etsy shit before. These are life-size gonk droids sold on Etsy. Yeah, and you can buy there's different sizes here. They differ in prices. I'm not going to go through all of them, obviously, for the sake of this. I'm a hard squat on these. I would love to have a premium. If you follow the Plastic Planet and you're a subscriber and you watch my videos, you know how much, like, I have a big chubby boner for robots. I love robots. I love droids. I love robots, whether we're talking about Star Wars droids, Transformers, the Black Hole, all these things. I love robots. And so this is really cool to have like a life size. And you can tell these guys made these out of storage bins. Can you see these are made out of storage bins?
Yeah.
But look how cool they look.
Oh yeah, huh?
Is that
Knick-Knack,
the
if you
final?
want
Is that
one
the
of
final
these,
paint job on him?
I'll make you one, okay, buddy?
See, look at that. Look at this dude. Look at this dude. This dude is hardcore, Uncle Pat.
That's sweet.
This guy looks like your spirit animal, Uncle Pat.
I'm sorry,
36
but I can't. $600? You kidding me?
45 inches tall. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, it's in his kitchen, dude. Gonk. Gonk. Look at his workshop. There's a few more. Looks like it's got lights on it, too. Look at that. So I'm just trying to give you guys, this is an Etsy thing. So these are handmade. These are unofficial. They're bootleggy. So they do different prices. Like you can go down as low as $250 and you can get one really small for that. But we'll look at the big ones.
Yeah, that one was the medium one for 36 inches looked pretty small compared to the guy.
Yeah, this is a hard squat for me. I don't know if I'd buy one of these. I have thought about making one myself. Because like seriously, you go to like Home Depot, you get a couple storage bins, you get a bunch of junk you have around the house, you get some paint. But I'm not very good at painting. Like this is pretty good. This is pretty good. I'm like a hard squat. I would not commit to buy this. But let's go to the big hardcore Star Wars fan on the panel, and that's Harry Jabba. And I know you have bought things off Etsy before, including your Jawa. You have a life-size Jawa you bought off Etsy. Would this be a buy, squat, or pass for you?
Yeah, I bought my life-size Jawa, as you said, and I love that thing. I paid $300, and it lights up. It has the sounds. We did a review on it. The cloth, it's just dynamite. Oh man, 600 I think it's a little steep here. They look pretty damn cool. I'm debating on the green color. You know, I know Star Wars bots can be any colors, right?
But it's any color, man.
It's a little. Oh, you can pick the color here.
I don't know. I said bots can be any color. I don't know if you can pick the color. I think this is what he's selling.
But man, dude, I would say this is a squat for me because life size is kind of what I collect. And I don't know, maybe I could get this from the wife for Christmas or something like that, or we can talk Uncle Pat into making us some, and he can make a few extra bucks. You know, but
we can commission Uncle Pat to build us these.
But as far as dude having a life-size Gonk droid in general, hell yeah, hell yeah. You know, the only thing I'm questioning here is just a little bit on the quality and maybe the accuracy a little bit. Like on the large one, the body almost seems too big, maybe, or maybe just a hair off. I don't know if I can name it. Like the medium one to me looks better, right? But it looks too small compared to the guy. So there's something a little off. I don't know if I can articulate it though, but overall it'd be cool to have.
You're right.
All right, so I'm gonna let Uncle Pat look really disapproving at this for a few minutes longer. And I'm gonna go to the AV club. I'm gonna go to Ryan real fast. Now you're not as huge of a Star Wars fan as we are. Would this be a buy, squat, or I'm guessing it's a pass? But what do you think?
It's a pass. It was interesting at first, but I was just thinking about the price, and then he went all this effort to make this droid, but he doesn't have like the final paint job to make it look like the movies. At least how I remember. I could be wrong, but it didn't look like that color. And then I would also say that there's something off about it where it's just like if you have somebody over and they see this thing, it's like it's not going to scream that's from Star Wars right away to them. I think to most people they're going to be like, what is that? And then you'd have to explain it to them, and I think that kind of defeats the purpose.
Yeah, that's a fair point. It's a robot, dipshit. No, I don't know.
Well, I know, but you want to be like, oh, that's from Star Wars.
Yeah, no, it's a fair point.
Even like the most casual Star Wars fan should be able to be like, that's from Star Wars.
That's a fair point, especially with a life-size item. You want it to be like, because it's going to take up a lot of real estate in your collection. So you want it to really scream what it's supposed to be. Yeah. Uncle Pat, I can't wait to hear your thoughts on these. Go ahead.
Well, it is Etsy, and Etsy is, the where quote-unquote artists go to sell their goods and whatnot. And I just $600, man. Seriously, like I can appreciate he put some effort into it, They're not supposed to be movie accurate. They're supposed to be, gonk droid,
artistic license. You do have to give some artistic license here. Agreed.
Yeah, the artistic license. We'll call them legends, right? I mean, they're whatever you want to call them. They're just somebody had fun building them, and that's fine. But again, Knick-Knack, you hit the nail on the head, man. There's some freaking totes stuck together with some shit glued to them, and $600, homie? No, 1,000 times no. Should be ashamed of yourself for trying to sell some shit for $600 that looks like that. I mean, that's not even like airbrush. That's like bad spray painting. It's not even. I could go on. It's just.
No, go on, dude. Go on. This is great.
I'm enjoying this.
Dude, everyone loves Uncle Pat's angry tyrant here on the Plastic Planet.
No, I just I mean, yeah, some guy took some time. It's got some LEDs, but a trip to frickin' well, we don't have Radio Shack anymore, but I can go on Amazon and get some LEDs and run that shit in and do a switch. And like you said, Knick-Knack, it's literally Copabot looks better than these.
Yeah, look at Copabot behind me. You guys see Copabot? Yeah.
Copabot lights up and talks and everything. So
Copabot, I love Copabot, dude. I need to get Copabot in more videos soon.
Right? That's that. Yeah. So no, this is. Go fuck yourself for $600.
You should be ashamed. You should be ashamed.
Be ashamed of yourself. Yeah.
Oh man, I gotta go to the chat real fast, guys. Following Freddy says, forget the Etsy droids. Let's do a heist at Galaxy's Edge. Agreed. Let's go steal some shit.
No kidding. I love that.
Let's go steal some shit. Following Freddy, they're closed down in Anaheim. They're still closed, man. So we'll just dress all in black and roll in there and steal some shit. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Let's see here. Robert Just a Fan says, weren't Gonk droids blue? Well, the vintage Power Droid is blue, but Gonk droids came in all shades and sizes. Robert Just a Fan says, I love to go Uncle Pat shopping. I save money. I love Uncle Pat so much because Uncle Pat shits on everything, so he saves people money. So
do I save you? Do I save you money, Knick-Knack?
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Do I save you money?
No.
No, Uncle Pat's a seriously enabler, actually. Actually, in real life, Uncle Pat's a serious enabler. But I do love that Uncle Pat does. Here's the thing that Uncle Pat does, is that he will throw some startlingly cold water on your shit. But it's very well thought out. It's always very well thought out, and it's not like he's a hater. He's just a smart consumer. Can we all agree? Trav, you've known Uncle Pat more longer than anybody.
He's a hater. I'm sorry.
Let the hate flow.
AV, you've never met Uncle Pat in person, but would you agree Uncle Pat's an educated consumer?
From limited time,
No, dude, you can stop right there. That tone in your voice nailed it.
I would say he's kind of the Simon Cowell of this show. I would say he's just kind of like he gives it to you straight.
Simon Cowell, exactly.
Fuck your feelings, but this is what I think.
Hey guys, quick channel announcement. We have reached our highest ever for a live show. We're at 19 viewers right now. Big Plastic Planet salute. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. We are at 19 viewers. That is our highest yet for a live stream. Thank you so much. We're a tiny channel, but we love collectibles and we love chatting with you guys. And you know what? I think I like to, not to brag, but I think we keep it really real here. And that's our goal. And that's why we have guys like Uncle Pat who says it like it is. And that's why we have outside perspectives like AV here who gives us like the honest answers about collectibles from someone who isn't weird. And that's why we love it. And that's why we got Trav here, who is the ultimate enabler. We're all here and we all have our special powers. And I love this channel, and I love you guys so much. I love this panel, and I love my chat so much. And Danny Lee is in the house, and Baz is in the house. So we got a lot of people joining us tonight. Thank you guys so much for joining us here on the Plastic Planet here for Knick-Knack Live. Guys, I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. All right, guys, so we got a couple more to get to, and then we really got to get to our mainstay that we promised we'd talk about tonight. So let's just do a few more buy squatter passes. And let's go with, okay, we need to talk about this. This is another awesome sideshow piece. This is Han and Carbonite. This has been out for a while. This has been This has been up for a while. This Han and Carbonite, more of an Empire Strikes Back version. If I might be so bold, I think I'm being pretty accurate there. And I think it has light up features. Let's check it out real fast.
It does have light up features, Knick-Knack. I cruised this one heavily for a while. So
look at that! I didn't know you could pose it like that.
Oh, that's cool.
It comes with a metal bar, so you can either have it flat or standing, with a light up base and light up features.
What's up with the normal numbering there? Shouldn't that be an Erebouche, which is the Star Wars? Was there real numerals in real world numerals in Star Wars numbers?
Let me look and find out.
Anyway, so there it is compared to the quintessential Sideshow Apple. You get a nice size. This is 1/6 scale, obviously. It is cool. It's got a little stem on the back there. You wouldn't want to display it from the side there because I think that stem is a little distracting. But it does light up, obviously.
I think the intent was that you could have him walking, like, remember when Fett and the Stormtroopers are walking?
Sure.
That's the purpose of that.
See, there it is.
That would be a cool scene. If you could make that a scene, a cool 12-inch scene.
I'm assuming it's heavy enough that's why they used a black piece of metal as opposed to a clear piece of plastic. I mean, that's an assumption. I think it does give weight of the piece, but
I like it a lot, guys. I like it a lot. So we're looking at it right now, and this is still buy squatter pass. This is a pass for me only because I have the very early Han and Carbonite from, of course, mine doesn't light up like this or anything, but I have it in Jabba's palace. Look at that next to Boba Fett. Oh, God. We have to clean up. That was cool. There's the box. And of course, they do I love how Sideshow does these environmental, show, you'll never be able to get that effect in your DTOF at home with the carbon freeze, Tabana gases emanating from below on it, But again, it's pretty damn cool. It's $250. Again, this has been out for a while. You can flex pay it starting at only $75 a month, which is, pretty awesome. I'm going to start out with Austin Volvo. I'm sure I know you don't collect this sort of thing, but
no, man, this is interesting that you brought this up because I remember when we first moved. I'm going to sidetrack a little bit, but when we first moved to our old house, we first moved back to Colorado in 2006, and we moved into our house. I was thinking about decorating the basement, and I really wanted a Han Solo and Carbonite. My only criticism with this is it feels like it's kind of going half-ass. It's like, man, if you're gonna go Han Solo and Carbonite, you got to go all the way. And I don't know if you can get this or not, but if you get like a freaking life-size Han Solo and Carbonite,
you can.
They have them. They have them.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm just saying that's something like I told my wife if I ever won a large chunk of money, I would definitely want something like that. I want Han Solo and Carbonite. I think it looks good. Seems like it's a good price. It's a pass for me just because, like I said, it's just kind of like, man, if you're going to do it, you got to go all the way. You got to get the life-size one, just like in Jabba's palace.
Yeah, this is really cool. This is 1/6 scale. This goes with your 1/6. This will go great with your Hot Toys, your Sideshow figures. This is 1/6 scale. Again, I already have this piece. Basically, I have the old one that's displayed in Jabba's palace. So it's a pass for me, and I think my piece still holds up nice. But how about you, Uncle Pat? I know you looked at this in the past, Uncle Pat. You looked at this seriously. Buy, squat, or pass?
I'd say it's still kind of a squat. I mean, I think the thing holding me up is more where I would put it than anything else. But I looked at it for quite a while. I think it's really well done. Now, I can't speak. I tried to see if I could find some movie stills. I can't tell for the other side if there are numbers or what. But the side that we see right there,
right?
Well, the side we see right here is movie accurate. It does look very much like what's in the movie stills that I'm looking at. So, dude, it's a squat, but I don't think it's a bad price. I think it's got light up features. I'm sure they're all the little tiny watch batteries, right? As opposed to a couple double A's that I could swap in the back. But
it might be double A's just because of that base, dude. It might be.
You think it would be, right?
You would. I don't know. Let's see. Let me go back to this. Let's see if we have some specifications here. It says illuminated base. Let's go to the specifics here.
Well, we won't tell you, dude.
This gives the height and the weight, but it doesn't say magnetic stand, vertical stand, so it has some magnets on it. That's always good. Side panel lights up, is switchable with both sides. Okay,
Look
cool.
at the weight. Look at the weight, though. Scroll down.
Yeah, I'm there.
Pounds.
Dimensional weight, 11 pounds. That's not light.
No, dude. Think about a 10-pound weight from lifting weights in the gym.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's a
That's
solid
pretty
piece,
solid.
dude. That's not like empty plastic.
It's polystone, probably.
Well, I don't know if it may not be polystone, but again, that metal bar says to me, we need to hold this thing up. You can't use a piece of plastic.
I want to know, does it plug in? Or is it like batteries? Because it doesn't say. That's what drives me nuts about Sideshow. They fuck you all the time like this. Because they don't tell you what you're getting.
All right.
God, that pisses me off. If anyone had this piece has been out, probably people have it. If anyone knows, let us know, man. I didn't know if I said this. Kev's Matrix is in the house. He says waiting on Sideshow or Hot Toys to redo Boosh, Bounty Hunter, Leia by Hot Toys prefer. I agree.
Kev says he owns it.
Oh, he does. Okay.
Says he owns it. So Kev, tell us tell us what the battery. He says it plugs in.
It plugs in.
Oh,
Ooh.
bonus.
Ooh, its stock just went up. Ding, 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 ding. You guys hear that?
Battery. So maybe the base plugs in. Well, which is it then, guys? Is it
200 and
Danny says it plugs in. It has batteries.
Okay. Oh, it has batteries.
Well, which one is it? You guys are killing me. If this was like a plug-in thing, it would go a long ways to maybe.
It might have both. It might honestly.
Or even double. To me, if it's AA batteries, that's fine. AAA batteries, that's cool.
Yeah.
As long as it's not the watch batteries.
Dude, as long as it's not the watch batteries. Oh, okay, so Kev does say it does have batteries. Are they the little batteries, guys, or are they the like?
Are they AA's or are they watch batteries?
Yeah.
Like LR44s or whatever.
Right. AAA or AA are cool.
I hate those damn things.
Yeah. AAA.
Okay, AAA. Okay.
That works.
That's not bad. That's not bad. It's not as good as plugging in, but that's not bad.
Dude, thank you, gentlemen.
That works, man.
Trav, would this be buy squad or pass for you?
You know what? I was going to say kind of a pass or a squat maybe, but since I'm getting the Jabba, following Freddie said this on the chat, since I'm getting the Jabba, dude, how cool would it be to have the Jabba and in the background have good old Han and Carbonite lit up, right, with the batteries. So this is kind of becoming a squat to maybe going on the buy side, man. It's just I've always it's kind of funny. I've always had trouble with the Han and Carbonite because like for the price, you're not paying for the articulation of the figure, right? Because he's just frozen. But having said that, with the lights here, and if it's AAA batteries, that might be pretty damn sweet, man.
Be pretty cool. The only caveat I have for that though is that this is very much an Empire Strikes Back piece. It's not a Return of the Jedi.
But it doesn't matter it depends on how you display it. If you put it in the back behind Jabba's throne, right? That back piece, the mount is irrelevant, right? You have a fully, nicely detailed and light up Han on a slab. So while it's not with the one like you got that has the wall, you're not going to get the wall one, and I guess maybe you could look on eBay, but I don't know, Trav. If you're thinking about it, it seems to me it would be a great piece to go with your Jabba.
It would go with the Jabba, even though it's Empire, I think it would still work.
I mean, it's not like Han itself changed, right?
No, it's
the base is a bit more Empire.
It's universal. I just feel like the environmentals that accompany this piece are very Empire Strikes Back.
Just that little base.
It's just the base, though.
Yeah, I agree. Again, this is like a hard squat leaning towards pass for me. I don't need this, but because again, I have the other one. I basically have it. I mean, I just don't have mine doesn't light up and have microwave numbers on it. Trav, you got a Hasbro piece there.
Yeah, here's the Hasbro. This was like the $20 Hasbro Han and Carbonite, and I actually like this piece from a distance. So this is high up on my shelf from a distance. It doesn't look bad, but up close, it's flimsy as can be.
It can't go anywhere near your new Jabba. You know that, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't put this near the. I wouldn't do this near the Jabba.
Yeah, that would be like
use it to boost the Jabba up off the ground. It can go under the DS, and you can use it to boost it up a little bit. But
yeah, there you go.
Putting that Haunted Carbonite, that Hasbro Haunted Carbonite next to your new Jabba would be like putting your new Jabba next to the kitchen trash.
Right. Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Remember that scene in Sideways when he's like got that really expensive bottle of wine that he's been, just talking about the whole movie, like he's gonna save it for the right occasion, and at the end he's like drinking it with a Happy Meal. That's what that would be.
That's why we have AV on, man. That's why we have AV on, man. Oh, man, just to go to the chat real fast. Ed5 says, I'll vid mine for the next stream. Just give us some pictures, brother. I don't know if I can put vids on here, but that would be awesome. I'd love to see some pictures, just some good pictures of it. And General Grievous says, I got mine for $229 through Sideshow, so I don't know if you got that on like a sale or something, but that's pretty cool. And Kev's Matrix says, definitely recommend and have Sideshow new Jabba also. So Kev's on board with Trav's purchases earlier tonight. And Kev's Matrix also says, a favorite in the collection, the new Sideshow Jabba second version, definitely worth funds in his opinion. So again, Trav, dude, I think you made a great choice.
Yeah, I might have to add this to it. And look at what Grievous just said. He said the Carbonite base is based on Return of the Jedi.
Okay. It looks more like Empire Strikes Back to me, but
it looks like Cloud City.
Yeah,
but on the flip side, right? On the flip side, I kind of maybe get where he's coming from, because it would make sense that Jabba wanted him on display and would put him on a nice base.
I guess.
On a wall.
It looks pretty Empire Strikes Back to me, but I'm not going to argue with anybody. Ginty says it's about that base. So Big Ginty's, I don't know if he's for the base or against the base, but yeah.
That's a bad song quote that he's throwing at us.
Dude, Ginty always throws me for a loop. Dude, I am on my fourth beer. Do not fuck with me. I don't know, man. I don't know. So that's why I'm glad I have you guys here. Otherwise, I'd just look stupid because these people make me look dumb. Hey, Ginty, spin on it.
Yeah, Ginty, I got your joke.
I love Ginty. Ginty's my boy. I love Ginty. Guys, I've had too much to drink. Anyway, all right, guys, so let's move on. We have one more Buy Squatter Pass I want to get to. And, again, this is definitely outside of let me hit this stop sharing. This is definitely outside of my wheelhouse, but this is definitely in other people's wheelhouse. And I'm so glad we can talk Marvel a little bit here on the Plastic Planet, at least in the live streams, because it's not something I buy, but I do appreciate it from afar anyway. And let's get to this one really fast. And hang on, guys. Let me hit the share screen. One more item to talk about tonight, and I think we're done for Buy Squatter Pass. But this is a pretty good one. Hang on a second. Let me find it. I thought I had it queued up. There it is. Sorry, guys.
Have another bush.
Okay. So this is a Hot Toys figure. This is the Hulkbuster Deluxe. I've seen other collector YouTube videos show this thing off. It's impressive. It's very impressive. This is 1/6 scale. It's huge. It's $1,150, closing in on $1,200. But I imagine this is a lot of die-cast metal in this. I imagine it's probably pretty goddamn sweet. As you guys can see, look, it's like they show like I don't know what you're getting here. I don't know if you're getting that Iron Man figure or not, but you guys can see the size comparison compared to a normal 1/6 scale or 12-inch figure. I guess you do get both.
Yeah, he goes on the inside.
Oh God, look at that! Look at that!
That's pretty darn cool.
Man, that is look. Oh, there's the Hulk there too.
Yep.
That is pretty goddamn cool. This could make me a Marvel fan. Again, I wouldn't buy this. $1,100 is a lot for something that I'm not really personally and emotionally invested in as a collector. But, oh, look at how he fits in there, too. Do you think that's nerve-wracking to put him in there?
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends. It's just you'd have to play with it to see how tight it was.
All right. Yeah, let's go to Buy Squatter Pass. Let's go to Uncle Pat first. What do you think, dude? It's a pass for me, but what do you think, dude? I think it's cool. What's a pass?
Well, you bet it's cool, but if you couldn't get me to buy one of my favorite Star Wars characters of all time for $800, no way in hell you buy one of my like sub 20 Marvel characters in any kind of form for over $1,000. I'll say this: like, I can see why people would buy it. It's very, very pretty, but all I can see there is a lot of watch batteries and a whole lot of stress trying to put that son of a bitch in that thing and not scratch that delicate paint app on all of those various parts. It screams to me, like, having dealt with Hot Toys figures on the Star Wars stuff. Oh my God, no! Like, even if I was a huge Iron Man fan, I'd just buy a statue because. And if you got this, I wouldn't want to take him in and out or pose him any other way. It's like you don't want. I would be just terrified of scratching up what I just spent over $1,000 on. So there's mine.
It's a big ass price point. It's a big ass price point. Travi, let's go to you next. We're gonna leave AV for last. Travi, what do you think? You're a big MC guy.
Dude, I love this piece, man. Are you kidding me? Hulk versus Hulkbuster. Dude, I think it's unbelievable. I would love to have this. In my dream world, I would love to first get that Gladiator Hulk that we reviewed about a month ago, man. That piece was dynamite. That was a statue. To Uncle Pat's point, I would love to match that up to a Hulkbuster statue. So maybe not this one, but man, to have those two pieces, that would just be top notch side by side. Price point's a little high, of course. I'm just gonna put a squat on it. If I ever came into a little bit of money or something changed a little bit, this would probably be the next collection I open up to. So I'm gonna put it out as a squat, man. But I freaking love the piece. Are you kidding me?
All right, Trav. Let me put it this way. Well, you and I were chatting the other night, and let's say some dumbass rear ends your car from behind. You get in a car accident. You're okay. The insurance company settles out at $1,000 to fix your car. You don't want to fix your car. It's just a little scratch, right? You don't need a whole new bumper. You're cool. If you have $1,000 right now from the insurance company, instead of fixing your car, would you buy a Hulkbuster?
No, there's other things I'd still buy first. I'd go Star Wars first. And if I was to go MCU, the first thing I'd get for MCU is that Gladiator Hulk statue, man. That'd be the number one MCU I get.
Yeah. Okay. All right. AV, man, the non-collector here. This is $1,100, man. This is a huge investment, but it's really cool. What are your thoughts? I know you're probably a pass, but what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I am a pass. It's it's too much, but it's beautiful. I mean, it looks like it's priced correctly given like what we've seen of other display items. But like Pat said, it's just like, man, I'd be really nervous about damaging this thing. It looks like it gets scratched so easily, and just like you said, putting the Iron Man in there would be kind of nerve wracking. But if I were to ever buy something like this, it'd be like in a place where like no one could ever touch it. It'd just be I'd be terrified of nieces and nephews coming over and just getting their paws on it and just playing with it like it was a normal toy.
It says it weighs 10 kilograms. I don't know what a kilogram is. I'm a dumbass American. I don't know what that relates to pounds. But that is okay. It's 1.3 pounds. So this thing weighs over a pound. This would be so heavy in your hand.
It weighs about 24 pounds.
24 pounds? Right. So it's 1 pound.
So it's 11 kilograms, right?
Yeah.
It's almost 2 pounds.
2.2 pounds per kilogram.
You're looking at about
20. Maybe I'm looking at the product size. Maybe that's 1.3 pounds.
I think solid.
Either way, it's solid.
I'll say this. I think that for that price point, that's way more appropriate than that Jabba price point. I'm just going to say that.
Okay, elaborate, Uncle Pat. Elaborate.
For an extra, $300? You've got light-up features, 2 figures, all articulated. It weighs like a freaking 25 pounds. Completely posable in both pieces. Custom paint apps. Movie accuracy. I mean, and it also comes with, I don't know if you saw this, it comes with the whatever that contraption was, and it goes to Trap Hulk and all the accessories so that you could even pair him up with the Hot Toys Hulk. So I'll say this, for what you get, that makes more sense to me than Jabba's $800 price range, where you basically get a big slug, some pillows, and a polystone base. That's
Dude,
a lot of
you're crazy. You get Salacious, you get the Diasis, and I think that whole thing is 48 pounds. You're coming in double the weight at Jabba versus this thing.
Because it's a big slab of polystone. That is completely articulated, all of it, and completely posable. 2 separate figures. You can literally separate them together, have them in any configuration. It has way more displayability than the Jabba does. Don't get me wrong. If you put the 2 together and said, Uncle Pat, I'll give you you can have your choice, it's easy. I'd go with the Jabba. But I'm saying for the price point, and remember, this is a Hot Toys versus a Sideshow. I think Sideshow's just a little bit out of the ballpark.
I see what you're saying. It's just saying the articulation and stuff. I get it.
Again, Travi, I don't want to discount your purchase because I'm partially jealous. I would like to have that piece myself. But I mean, when you look at the numbers, holy cow, you get so much more for this extra $300, which is literally the price of a Hot Toys figure, an Iron Man Hot Toys figure by itself, and you get all this other crap that comes with the Hulkbuster. So,
well, following Freddie in the chat says he owns it and he thinks it's fucking amazing. He says I own it. He's talking to Packer Brewer Paul. He says I own it, Paul. It's super. And he says it is. And Packer Brewer Paul says it
amazing.
does look amazing. He says it is. Trust me. So Fallen Freddy would know better than any of us on this one. Oh shit, my Diet Coke.
That's why you need to be drinking beer.
Dude, I had 3 and I'm getting kind of loopy. So
we want you to drink.
I got a show to run here, man. I mean, you never saw my idol, Bob Eubanks get tanked on Card Sharks, did you? So I'm trying to stay a little respectful.
Well, I might have watched more Card Sharks if he did. That's all I'm saying.
I love Bob Eubanks, man. He was my idol. When I was a kid, now Trav and Uncle Pat can attest this. I always wanted to be a game show host. It was like my dream. And fortunately, they started less and less game shows on TV, and so it never happened. But so this is the closest thing I got. So thank you guys for joining us. And guys, we have maintained an impressive audience tonight. We're at 16 viewers right now. We maxed at 19. Guys, thank you so much. Kev's Matrix says, I sold items in collection for my job and very appreciate having in my collection. So Kev's Matrix, again, is supporting you, Trav, on this one. So anyway, really, really damn awesome. That is an awesome piece. Again, it's not really my bag per se, but it really is a very, very awesome piece.
Knick-Knack's Plastered Planet.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
I know.
Yes.
I know, guys. I know.
Nice one, Paul. Nice one.
I'll have to do a new logo for that one.
You do Knick-Knack's Plastered Planet. Yeah, I know. Kev's Matrix, he used some Sideshow rewards points. So those are always very, very, very handy.
You know what? You know what's great? After my recent orders, my rewards balance, pending rewards balance is huge, man. So you can kind of keep that ball rolling.
You got to complete the order first before they'll give you those points. But yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well,
so anyway,
paid for it. It's on.
Go ahead, Uncle Pat. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying the Trav did complete that order. He's got those points.
I know, but he has to fulfill it first. He has to ship and all that.
It's shipping. It's shipped today.
I know, but then there's a certain amount of time between it shipping and then before they actually award you the points.
Got it.
Yeah, so you have to have it for a month or something. You can't ship it and then send it back and then expect the points. Anyway, guys. All right, guys. Well, we are at the hour 38 mark, so we are way behind schedule. We are done with Buy Squad or Pass. Let's move on to our topic of the night, which I teased in the thumbnail. We are talking about Transformers the movie. And Transformers the movie, and I wish I had sound on this, guys. I know you guys aren't going to be able to hear this, but it is one of my all-time. Oops, wrong one. Sorry, guys. Stop screen. Sorry, guys. Again, guys, I've had a little too much to drink.
You're good.
Yeah. So anyway, let's look at this. This is, of course, I know you guys can't hear this. But this is the trailer to Transformers the movie, and this is just an amazing fucking movie. I love this movie. I saw this movie in 1986, in August of 1986, in the theaters with a mutual friend of both Austin Volvos and I, Scott. Him and I went and saw this together, and I was like on the fence about becoming a Transformer fan when this film came out, and this film just like blam, blew my hair back. There wasn't a movie just like The Empire Strikes Back that had such an effect on me than Transformers the movie. And now I know all you guys, bless you so much, screened this movie recently for this conversation. Although I think Uncle Pat's seen it a few more times since then. But I've watched this movie a million times. What are your guys' impression of this film overall in a modern sense? Let's go to AV first. What do you think, man? You watched this just recently.
Yeah, I actually watched this just last night to have a little bit of a refresher. And like you said, like first of all, what you like you said, Knick-Knack. I mean, it just it totally blew me away when I saw it when I was 10 years old. I mean, everything up to that point, you know, of watching cartoons, you know, it's. I'll just say it right away. I mean, it's like they just killed, you know, an enormous amount of characters, you know, and that's just, you know, when you're watching like Transformers and G.I. Joe and He-Man, a steady diet of that growing up, you know, and everybody survives, you know, G.I. Joe, like when they, you know, attack a enemy jet, they always parachute out. Everybody lives. And it's just like in the first like 5 minutes of this movie, you know, main characters are getting taken out left and right by Megatron. And it's just, you know, it like you said, like me and Knick-Knack have had this conversation at lunch. He would tell me like that movie had balls, you know, and I would say that too. You know, it's just like, you know, given who the audience is and just they're gonna, you know, kill off a bunch of characters. I thought it was, you know, really bold for them to do it. But watching it in a modern context, you know, and seeing this last night, the biggest thing I was that kind of struck me was the differing animation styles. You know, you can definitely tell like when there's a Japanese anime going on in the movie, and then when it's just kind of like the American studios are making it. But I think it holds up. There's some you know, a little bit of sloppiness to it, you know, but I think it still holds up, and I think it's still a pretty bold movie.
Yeah, I love this movie so much. Trav, I ran you over a screener. I don't know if you had a chance to watch it, man. What did you think of this movie?
Yeah, I did, man, and it definitely brought back a lot of good memories from a kid. What a dark cartoon to come out in 1986, man. To kill off your main character, kudos, right? It's a dark movie, and it's kind of funny. Here's how I view the world, Knick-Knack, and this might be very wrong, but I kind of view the world of, you got kind of two competing sides. You have the sides of that started as movies or stories and moved into toys, right? So that's like your Star Wars, your Superman, your Wolverine, right? And then you got the other side here that were toys that came into movies. And so you have Transformers, G.I. Joe, He-Man, etc., right? And for the most part, you know, the toys had a tough time ever making anything good. And I think out of that kind of side, if you will, right, this movie comes the closest to having as good of a storyline as some of those other ones who natively started from that side. I think it's pretty good. I like it. It's a classic. You know, as a kid, it's kind of too bad, though. You know what the biggest tragedy for this thing is it was kind of a one-hit wonder. And that, you know, Transformer never came out with as good of a movie since. But probably the best thing in the whole damn film is the soundtrack, man. The soundtrack's unbelievable.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, you can't dismiss that arena rock Stan Bush soundtrack in this movie. It's really one of the stars of the film. You know, I love this movie so much. I could talk about this movie at nauseum just all the time. I love this movie. Uncle Pat, what do you think of Transformers the movie overall?
So this movie, it was game changing. And you know, Travis, you're kind of talking about, how the with Transformers, like, movies first versus toys first. Right when they came out with these toys, the idea was they had to create these story arcs, right, to get kids into them, to get kids excited about them. And I think that's where I always gravitated and loved Transformers, G.I. Joe, Masters of the Universe, right? They always had these fun, strong story arcs that would get you invested in these characters. And when this movie came out, right, we got to remember this was game changing because it was. I mean, obviously from a marketing standpoint, the goal here was to get. We've been selling these same Transformers for years. We got to change it up. We got to get new toys on the market, right? And that's what the purpose of this was. But they did it in such an elegant, strong storytelling way. They killed characters we loved, right? Like there was no holds barred in this thing. Even Spike's like, oh shit, when like it's a Unicron, right? Like, and I remember as a kid going like, he said what?
That's
like,
funny. That's funny you mentioned that
Yeah.
because Ryan, Knick-Knack saw it before I did, and he came over to my house and told me, he's like, he didn't tell me anybody, he didn't spoil anything, but he just said like, they say damn, they say shit. He was just telling me like, we couldn't believe this movie this PG movie was saying all this stuff to it. It was like we're 10 years old, it just blew our minds.
It did blow our minds, right? But I think the biggest thing that what I loved about it was, and it's also interesting to see this in context with the G.I. Joe, the movie that came out after. Because when they killed off Prime in this, right, and it was it was a death where, Hot Rod kind of causes Prime to get killed, interfering in the fight. He's trying to help. He makes a mistake, right? This is character building. This is the stuff we solely lack so much of in today's movies, right? They just have powers. They go and they do whatever. I'm not going to go down that path too far. But our hero, Hot Rod, who becomes Rodimus Prime, he's so flawed, right? And he's relatable. He's such a great character. But they pissed off so many fans because, he killed Optimus Prime. And I always thought Optimus Prime, I like Optimus Prime. He has a special place in my collection, in my heart. But he's a stiff, man. He's always like, we've got to do the right thing. And yeah, he'd make mistakes, but they were few and far between. So when you had a character that was so relatable with Rodimus, right? He was looking to other people for like, how do we do this better? How do we defeat the Decepticons? It was like I just gravitated to him as a kid. I was like, I love this guy. He's me, and I make mistakes, and this guy makes mistakes, and look what he can become. He reminds me of Luke Skywalker, man, right? He's not perfect by a stretch. But when they killed off Prime, people got so fucking upset. In G.I. Joe, the movie, if you remember that one, their intent was to kill Duke.
Yeah, he took a cobra. He took a cobra spear to the heart.
Right, from Serpentor, and they go off screen. Then it's like they changed the voiceover from Scarlet, and he's like, he's in a coma. But that's the last we see of Duke in that movie. So
no, at the very end though. You remember?
They brought him back at all. I think he was.
No, they do. They like at the very end, like after they won the battle, like, good news, everyone, Duke's gonna make it.
Okay, but did you see him? I don't think you saw him. I think it's like they say it, but
no, you never see him. You never see him. You just assume he's dead.
But I mean, they bitched out. They totally, right. They got scared by Transformers. It was just like, yeah.
I mean, it was Hasbro, right? I mean, they were making
same company,
so they learned their lesson. Well, they thought they learned a lesson, but what we ended up with was this piece of film from a toy perspective. And I mean, I love the Transformer. I'm a big bot guy. Love my Transformers. But this was like, I always hated the cartoon because it was so fastly put together and like, missed colors and bad animation. It was like rushed out. And I always would look at it and go like, this is fucking terrible. This movie, like, they nailed the animation. Like, there's 99% of this, in my opinion, is like top quality, good animation. And what I always wanted my Transformers to look like. There's some scenes that are a little bit shaky, but compared to everything we got from, afternoon cartoons with Transformers, this was like, blow your hair back.
This film was so ahead of its time in so many ways. And I, like when I talk to people who don't understand Transformers the movie. They kind of chuckle at this movie, like no, you don't appreciate this movie. This movie, in my opinion, has achieved cult classic status. And as far as it wasn't appreciated for its day, it was a financial flop. Came out in August of '86, didn't make a lot of money, but as we all know, animated films today all have all-star casts. This film was one of the first ones to say that it had an all-star cast in a sense for a movie, for a toy line, to support a fucking toy line. I mean, it had Judd Nelson coming right off the Breakfast Club.
Yep.
Judd fucking Nelson. It had Leonard Nimoy of Star Trek fame.
Yep.
It had Robert Stack, who, and maybe in 1986 he wasn't as famous because that was before Unsolved Mysteries, but he was also in Airplane. Yeah. So it had Robert freaking Stack. It had Lionel Stander, who was, of course, Max from Hot to Hot. Remember him? He was Cup.
He was Cup.
Yeah. And of course, it had Eric Idle, who is, of course, of Monty Python fame. Eric fucking Idle as Rekgar. And then, of course, the big heavyweight, no pun intended. It had Orson Welles.
Yeah.
Orson fucking Welles.
His last movie. Last movie.
That's the craziest thing ever. He made the most important film in history. In Citizen Kane, and his last movie is Transformers.
So that's the most important movie in history.
Kane. His last movie, Unicron.
Yeah, that's nuts. It's the voice actor cast is just insane. Like you said. I mean, for a toy line. And it's just right. I don't know how they pulled that off. I mean,
I don't know. The whole point of this film, honestly, if you're being, and I'm not being cynical about this,
no,
the whole point of this film was to promote the '86 toy line, was to reintroduce it was this film. You talk about relaunches. People talk about reboots all the time. This film was a reboot on the Transformers universe. This film was meant to say, okay, I know you love your Bumblebee, you love your Jazz, you love your Cliff Jumper, you love your Wheeljack, you love your Optimus Prime, you love your Megatron, Starscream, Thundercracker, Skywarp, Soundwarp, Laserbeak, Rumble, etc. But hold on, motherfuckers. Here comes the '86 toy line. And we're going to blow all those bitches away. Because now you got Ultra Magnus, Hot Rod, Scourge, Cyclonus, Ultra Magnus, the Sharkticons. You got all these new characters. Now, I got into the I was lucky. Unlike other fans. I didn't have the emotional attachment to Optimus Prime, to Ironhide, to Prowl, to all those characters that went out in this movie, got just annihilated in this film. So the first half hour of this film didn't bother me. I had no emotional attachments. This film really brought me in as a Transformer fan. I was fortunate. So I was
devastated. I was devastated when Optimus Prime died. I was just like, oh hell no, this is crap, And I never latched on to Optimus Prime. I was just like, this is bull crap.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in just a sec.
Yeah.
But I was never. No, it's okay. It's okay. This is why we have different perspectives here. Because I was sort of a later fan of the Transformers. I still was, I held on to my Star Wars fandom for a really long time, and I was still a Star Wars fan well into '85, '86. And then I had a brief love affair with Voltron, and then Voltron kind of brought me into the Transformers, as well as our mutual friend Scott and you, Ryan, AV did. But I mean, I wasn't a huge. I mean, Transformers was sort of a jump for me from Star Wars to Transformers, and this film made it possible because this film had so much balls. And I actually was watching some of the extras from this movie from the 30th anniversary DVD or Blu-ray that came out, and they had the producer on there, and they had no idea that kids would be this upset about them killing off the entire '85 toy line. Like, they didn't know that kids were married to these characters. I wasn't kids personally, but I know others were.
I think they just thought they're just robots. I think that's probably what they thought. But it's like, no, kids love them. They're humanized.
But I think that I don't know that they discounted it, but like, oh, they're robots. I mean, there was definitely choices in this movie where, like there's planets that Unicron's eating. They're all like robot, right? So they use the robots to sort of like downplay the violence and like Unicron destroys like whole planets, and in that first scene you see him, he eats an entire, and like you see kid robots and
Right.
dog robots, right? But it's just robots, so
It's the planet. It's the planet of Ilum, by the way. That
Thank you. But right, you see these people die, and they're so. I guess it depends on your point of view, but I took it more as they knew that you couldn't have Optimus Prime and have a new leader. So I mean, it was really a choice on how do we phase it out. I almost feel like not that it was we're going to discount your feelings, but they're going to take a ballsy approach, and that's every good hero has a death. I mean, nobody lives forever. And even the best story has an ending. And when I saw this when I was a kid, yeah, I was sad because right, you see him and like I remember crying. And I get a little teary-eyed when I watch it today, where you watch, he's on the table and he hands over the matrix of leadership, and his eyes go dim.
Turns all black.
Just goes gray, right? Like the color leaves, and everybody cries. There's a still moment. Like I don't feel like they discounted his death. I think they really. They did they had a good death for him. Not only does he defeat Megatron, saves the Autobot city, but when he goes out, it's not discounted. It's sort of like everybody like there's a pause in the movie where they're like, he's dead, and there's like all the Autobots are sad, and Spike lays on him, or not Spike, Daniel lays on him and cries. Like that gets me in the feels every time. But
yeah,
your point, people have a hard time letting go of change, just like when Han Solo in the new movie, gets killed. I know Finn, my son, was he was all pissed off. He's like, they killed Han, like he was all angry. But at the same time, I almost feel like it's a ballsy decision to make a move that gives you emotion. Because if you're angry, you're sad, whatever you are, you have a feeling towards a movie. That to me is a success.
Yeah. Trav, what did you think overall when you were a kid? You saw this movie as a kid. What did you think when Optimus Prime died?
Yeah, man. I was heartbroken because
I had talking. Prime. I got to run real fast. I'll be right back. You know what I got to do. I'll be right back.
All right, man.
Yeah, so we'll be right back. Sorry, Trav,
I was definitely heartbroken, right? Because, dude, I loved Optimus. I had Optimus. I'm like, are you kidding me? Having said that, though, I was heartbroken, but I was okay with it, man. I was okay with it, right? Because, dude, that shock value death, it adds something to Uncle Pat's point, right? It's kind of like, dude, when Obi-Wan died, right? Yeah. In episode 4, right? It's like, are you kidding me, right? It's like, oh, no, right? It's kind of like a father figure. All those things. So although I was heartbroken, it actually kind of pulled me in, and I'm of the camp, I still liked Optimus more than Rodimus, but I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, one or the other, which one's better, which one's not. It's like, man, they're both okay, right? I probably still like the classic a little bit better, but I like them both, and I can't fault the story for killing off one of their main characters, man, because that's just part of life and part of real war. It happens, and so I was okay with it.
I always feel like it's dramatic, strong storytelling when you take a chance like that, because you can really have all these people have negative emotions associated, right? You love a character so much you don't want to see him die, but at the same time, sometimes when you let characters go under the right circumstances with some weight and value to their death, it I don't know, it adds to the emotion of the story. But
right, plus they pass on, you see like Obi-Wan, when Obi-Wan died, right, he passed on all the knowledge and Luke takes it up, right? It's kind of a similar analogy, right? Optimus Prime passed on his learning, and they did, right? Rodimus inherited the wisdom of all the Primes and everything else, right?
With the Matrix, right?
With the Matrix, yeah. So,
but Austin, dude, so you were saying, because you said you were angry about it when they killed Prime. So how did you do the rest of the movie, right? Because they basically shut down G1.
I enjoyed the rest of the movie, but it was shocking. I mean, I struggle. Maybe I'm just drawing a blank, but to think of another similar movie, like that would just do that and annihilate it's all of its toy line like that, it's just like I just like the beginning scene like Ironhide and Ratchet and Wheeljack dies, it's just like they don't even show Wheeljack die. He's just laying there on the ground like he died earlier. They don't even give you the courtesy of seeing how he died, But it's just like,
And Wind Charger 2 is in that scene. Wind Charger 2 is in that
yeah.
scene.
But I was watching it last night, and I was just like, I don't know. It kind of Hot Rod just kind of pisses me off, man. It's like he's the one that he just led to,
Spoken like a true Prime fan.
No, he did, man. It was just like this motherfucker. This guy, he comes in there and he like Prime's got Megatron dead to rights, and then he comes in there bumbling in there, and Megatron holds him hostage, and Prime's like, oh no, I can't do anything, and he takes fatal shots from Megatron, and so I blame Hot Rod for some of that, and then Ultra Magnus is clearly going to be the next leader of the Autobots, and Prime's like, you'll learn, you're the guy, here's the Matrix, and he just kind of like stumbles again and lets go of the Matrix, and Hot Rod catches it, and it's just. It's not supposed to be you, man. It's supposed to be Ultra Magnus. Everybody in the room clearly heard that it was supposed to be Ultra Magnus. What are you doing, asshole? He touches it, like, freaking like lights up, and it's like, oh, he's the chosen one. We don't know that though. If Ultra Magnus had touched it first, maybe he would have been it. But it's just like this dude just like, he failed his way up. Fuck him.
Oh, wait, hold on a second, because if there was a failure there, I'm going to look at Ultra Magnus as being the failure. Because first, he can't hold on to the goddamn Matrix. It's a good thing. I mean, maybe it broke. Rodimus got to catch. Somebody got to catch it. Hot Rod's got to catch it. You hit the ground.
Yeah, but maybe there's something to it. Like I don't know. I'm just I'm bullshit.
And then Galvatron, Ultra Magnus meets Galvatron.
Well, I mean, it's like whoever the first robot is to touch the Matrix afterwards. Is the one that gets the Matrix power or something like that. I
don't think that's. I think you're taking it too literally. If I might step in.
I get that. I know what they were going for, but it still pissed me off. It's like, no, man. Everybody in the room heard that that's supposed to go to Ultra Magnus. You're jumping ahead. You're leapfrogging him. Fuck you.
Well, maybe the Ultra Magnus just didn't. Maybe we're talking user error here because Ultra Magnus had it. Maybe he just didn't know how to work that shit. So
he clearly
maybe Hot Rod read the instructions and was like, "Oh, I'll open it like this." And
I know that's what they want you to think, but it was just like I didn't like how that played out, man. It's like he's the one that led to Optimus's death, and it's like, oh, look at me, no, I'm the new leader.
Here's the thing. Here's what I love so much about. Honestly, here's what I love so much. This is where, and we are going to have a Team Optimus, Team Rodimus discussion, which I think we've already started. And we obviously know where the AV Club is on this. And I love Optimus. Don't get me wrong, guys. I love Optimus Prime too. Optimus Prime is supposed to be like Abraham Lincoln. He's supposed to be, he's the ever wise. I think you guys, when I was upstairs relieving myself, I think you guys mentioned an analogy between Optimus Prime and Obi-Wan Kenobi. And I've always felt that way. And I love Optimus Prime. But here's the thing with Hot Rod. Hot Rod's story in Transformers the movie, again, this is a toy line commercial, and you've got elements of Arthurian legend in there. You've got elements that date to mythology that are like, classic mythology. When he catches the Matrix and it shines upon him, he doesn't know he's the chosen one. No one knows he's the chosen one, but he is. And it's and the Matrix will only open for the chosen one. The Matrix didn't choose Ultra Magnus. The Matrix chose Hot Rod. And that's why it's only Hot Rod that finds his way to the Matrix, who is guided to the Matrix at the end of the movie when Galvatron has it in the bowels of Unicron. Only Hot Rod can open the Matrix at this point because he is the chosen one. He is the only one that can pull Excalibur from the stone. Do you see what I'm saying?
I would obviously I'd agree with you, Knick-Knack. I think one of the things that the cartoons we grew up with, I mean, not all of them, there was some bad shit out there, right? But sort of I would quantify them as maybe the big four, and that's Transformers, G.I. Joe, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, and Thundercats. they really played around with strong storytelling and on short deadlines, right? The TV, the stuff we saw in the cartoons was always they had to put it out so fast. But those guys would come up with such great, funny stories, even dumb ones, right? Like, I mean, we could go into all of the stupid shows we saw when we were kids, but they would come out with these great stories. And I really felt like with this and with even the G.I. Joe, the movie, like they really had the time to come up and put together a truly good story and really flesh out avenues. So regardless of if you feel like, you like Prime better than Hot Rod or your Rodimus or whatever, or the original Transformers versus the new guys, it was just such a good piece of storytelling that like they really fleshed out and pushed forward. And they had an agenda, and you may not like where it went, but dude, I mean, watch an episode of the frickin' Smurfs compared to this is like you said, they're using Arthurian legend. They're using bigger storytelling techniques to get somewhere that they didn't have to, right? I mean, these are supposed to be toys. Only kids watch this shit. And I think that's why this story, like it or not, and I think that's a key to a strong piece of art. If it drives passion in people, negative, right?
We're still talking about it.
You can't knock its value. If Volvo, if you're like, man, fuck Rodimus Prime, and it gets you like a little fired up, dude, that's good art. That's what that is good.
Well, I got to disagree with that, Pat.
Oh, please.
That does not. Okay, let's just take that same logic to The Last Jedi.
If you quantify as good art,
you just took this to an ugly place, Trav.
That's not I would say your truth is it's most often true, but it's not a universal truth.
Here's
the thing. Here's the thing. I've thought about this. I've thought about it. Oh, I'm sorry. I was just to say, I've actually made these connections between, because, I look back on like Optimus Prime dying, and to me, I wasn't as emotionally attached to that character when it happened at the time than other kids my age were, like you, AV. So I've thought about this in regards to Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi, because a lot of people that like that film, I don't think have the emotional attachment to Luke Skywalker. And we're not going to go on a Ryan Johnson rant fest here. We've already done that a million times. But here's the thing here, how I differentiate those. To me, looking back on Transformers the movie, Optimus Prime didn't go out like a bitch. Optimus Prime went out like a fucking warrior. He had a warrior's death in that movie. I mean, when you see it, and then it's like they when they show him coming off the deck of the Autobot ship, and he sees Megatron and his Decepticon cohorts running all over Autobot City, and he has that last line. He says, "Megatron must be stopped, no matter the cost." Shit, he transforms into his truck mode, and then the organ starts playing the Stan Bush. You got the touch. And he rolls up there, and you see one of the Conehead jets. It was Dirge, or maybe I don't know,
Thrust.
Ramjet, maybe. You see him in the grill of the truck as he runs him over, and then all of a sudden these jets come out from under Optimus Prime, boosh, and he transforms into his robot mode and starts. And he takes out half the Decepticons in one fell swoop. And Megatron's like, who the fuck just took out my whole legion of Decepticons? He's like, Prime. And they have this epic battle. And Prime doesn't die because he gets bitch slapped by Megatron. He dies because he has compassion for his fellow Autobots, Hot Rod. And I'm fucking tearing up here, guys. And then Prime goes out like a warrior, like a compassionate father figure. He sacrifices himself for Hot Rod because Hot Rod is young and impulsive. And let's face it, when we're young and impulsive, we do dumb things. You know what? We do. We've all done dumb things as young people, and Hot Rod does dumb things.
Prime is a dad.
Prime is the dad.
And
everyone's
up.
He's protecting Hot Rod.
Yes.
And that's the only reason Megatron gets the upper hand on him. And he dies of his wounds, and he dies surrounded by the people who he loves. If Luke Skywalker died surrounded by Han and Leia and all those, it would have been amazing. But no, he didn't. He died as the Force ghost because he used the Force too much.
I will say this too about Trav with the analogy with The Last Jedi, right? I will absolutely say it's good art. It's not good Star Wars, and there's the big difference. From a film standpoint, Rian Johnson absolutely did what he wanted to do, which is to go in and turn everybody's head on their, everybody on their head, and he did a great job of that. And if I was not a Star Wars fan, I'd have a different opinion of that movie. But again, I still think it's a universal truth because even on the Plastic Planet, there's a lot of guys.
What about Episode 9 then?
There's a lot of. Let me finish. There's a lot of guys on the Plastic Planet, a lot of our fans that love those new movies, dude. So we may think they're shit, but you know what? I'm going to have to say, from an artistic standpoint, they're successful art because they drive a lot of emotion, even if it's an ineptitude. But what we consider inept or we consider bad, there's a lot of people that are like, that was fucking amazing. So just like the DC versus Marvel movie stuff we could get into, you can't, and I would never do this. I would never say that you can't quantify those as good art because by that definition, they absolutely are. So if nothing else, you've opened up a perspective for me there, Trav, by trying to counter me by saying I would argue that it is good art because it made you feel something. If it was anger, it may not be something you ever want to look at again, but from an artistic perspective, dude, as an artist myself, the thing I always want to drive for is having some emotive response to my work. Nothing's worse than not giving a shit. And we all gave a shit about those movies, and we all give a shit about Transformers, the movie, right? I mean, once you may not like how it started, how it ended, but dude, I think that's why it's a cult classic, is because it had some punch to it. And
totally.
I'll say this.
It had some punch. There's no doubt to it, man.
I wish Rian Johnson had watched Transformers the movie because then he would understand how to respectfully pass the torch from legacy characters to new characters. Because I think Transformers the movie, while you get to see Ironhide get annihilated, you get to see Prowl and Brawn get annihilated on the deck of that spaceship, that Autobot cruiser, they go out fighting, and it's badass. I'm sorry, it's badass. They had warrior deaths. It was badass. It wasn't like Han Solo walking into a fucking lightsaber. It wasn't like Luke having a Force overdose. It was badass.
Well, let me ask this question to AV. So, did you stop liking Transformers after that movie?
No, of course not. I still love. I love the movie quite a bit. It didn't ruin the movie for me, but I never embraced Rodimus Prime. I always just felt like, I thought he was just like, these guys aren't going to follow him. Like we were talking about, Optimus Prime was like, the father to all the Autobots, and this guy, he's like a, kind of like an awkward teenager, and it's just like they're going to follow these guys. Nobody's going to follow this guy into battle, like they want you to believe that at the end. When he's like transforms into Rodimus Prime, but I'm thinking to myself, like, they ain't following him. Ultra Magnus, they would have followed. They know Ultra Magnus. Ultra Magnus is like he's like, the veteran quarterback. Not the greatest quarterback. He's like a veteran quarterback.
He's Gus Frerotte. He is Gus Frerotte.
No, he's this is it. Optimus Prime was John Elway. After John Elway retired, it was supposed to go to Bubby Brister. Bubby Brister went 4-0 the previous season. The club, the team, the locker room loved Bubby Brister. And then Mike Shanahan, gives the Matrix to freaking Brian Greasy, and it's a disaster. It's chaos everywhere.
I know what else is going to follow this Bronco analogy, Denver Bronco analogy. We're going to get off it right now. But I know where you're going for, and I like it.
I'm just saying, like, it was too much of a leap. The Autobots aren't going to follow this guy. That's how I felt. It's like, this guy is not. They're not. It's not going to happen. They want to follow Ultra Magnus. They don't want to follow Rodimus Prime.
All right, real quick. Let's just give this a little structure, okay? Let's go each person real fast, and I think we already know where we stand. But okay, so Team Rodimus or Team Optimus? I am definitely, and I've already explained this. I love Optimus Prime, guys. This is a to me
Half.
this is a Captain Kirk, Jean-Luc Picard argument. I love them both. I really do. This is not like I don't like one. I like the other. I love them both.
It's
really
not like
do.
a Luke Skywalker versus Rey argument.
No, it's not. It's not even close. I love Optimus Prime, but I also love Rodimus Prime. The reason I love Rodimus Prime a lot more, though, is because I identified with that character. I identified with someone who made mistakes. I identified with a character who didn't like ask for leadership, but had leadership thrust upon him. That's why I am Team Rodimus overall. How about you, Harry Jabba, aka Trav? What do you think? Are you Team Optimus or Team Rodimus?
Yeah, similar feelings in the essence that this is not a hill I die on, but I'm Team Optimus, man. Just for what he passed on, the hero's death that he did, and dude, this guy ruled Cybertron, right? For how long? He's like millions of years old, right? And he did it right, man. So Optimus gives me the edge. I'll give him the edge.
Let's go to AV, man. I know your answer, but tell us why you're Team Optimus.
I don't know. Yeah, no, I'm Optimus all the way, man. He's he's got the only Optimus can pull off those corny lines, and still make it work. He's just to me he's just like this, blue collar guy. He's in there mixing it up with the grunts, and his all of his troops will run through a wall for him, and just he is, to me, it's like that's a leader. I love Optimus.
I love Optimus too. That's awesome. How about you, Uncle Pat? Team Optimus, Team Rodimus?
Well, I'm absolutely 100% Team Rodimus. And I think we all tend to forget the episode with Orion Pax in Transformers, who was the original Optimus Prime before he got the Latris of Leadership. And he was a tool. He was a tool bag. And, we saw him fail. So this is the thing I think that a lot of people miss is between the two, like, again, it's like Captain Picard, Jean-Luc Picard. They fucking love them both. I'm a Team Picard, 100%. Kirk's too much of a hothead in that particular case, and there's something cool about Jean-Luc, but I always felt like we caught the back end of Optimus Prime. And when I saw Rodimus, it was like we get to see the cool shit. We get to see the mistakes. We get to see the dumbass things he does, but the awesome, like, recovery, right? The Elway moments. You know what I mean? Like, you get to see things that...
Stop making Denver Bronco references. No one else gets them.
I know. Sorry about that.
Going out the win. Like, and with Optimus is like, he's, like, again, like I referred to him as a dad. He's absolutely dad. And as a dad, I can 100% relate. But when I was a kid, I always thought he was just the authority figure. He's like, you don't know what you're doing. And like, how many episodes of Transformers do we see where he would talk down to the other Autobots like, you don't know what you're doing. We're going to do it this way because this is how I feel like we should do it. And then sometimes he'd be like, you know what? You were right. We should have done it your way. And that's just always turned me off about Optimus. Well, I still love him. I always loved Rodimus because I felt, again, like Knick-Knack, you were saying, I connected with him more. And now this is a guy, I was a Transformers fan from day one, big into him. All the shows, went and saw the movie, and I was still on board. After that, it was great to just go on the ride. So, again, I don't think you can be wrong. You can't be wrong being a Team Optimus. But I don't think you can be wrong being Team Rodimus by a long shot. I think they're both great leaders, but we just didn't get to see enough of Rodimus to see where he would have gone as leader of the Autobots. And we didn't get to see enough young Prime, in my opinion, to see how he was when he first got the Matrix. So
actually, this is kind of a fun fact. Have you guys ever played the War for Cybertron games?
Yeah,
I've seen them. I haven't played them.
Okay, well, they Hasbro recognizes them as canon, and it takes place before Optimus becomes a Prime. But when you see him, he kind of galvanizes the troops. And you can see he's the leader back then too. But even then, he's basically acting the same way. Before he even becomes a Prime, he's just like everybody knows he's the leader. Even though there's another Prime, they're like, that's the guy. That's the guy.
Yeah.
Let's hear. Go to that.
The Orion Pax episode?
What's that?
Do you remember the Orion Pax episodes?
No, I'm drawing a
The one
blank on
episode
that.
where they it's the aerial bots go back in time and they meet Orion Pax before. I think they go. Don't they? Uncle or Knick-Knack? Don't they go like they're chasing Megatron? He goes back in time on Cybertron, and
yeah, I don't remember. That's a two-parter episode. It's the introduction of the aerial bots, and they go back and they meet Orion Pax. And Orion Pax obviously is future Optimus Prime before he gets the Matrix.
Right.
And Orion Pax is just he's a mechanic or he's some kind of real blue collar. To AV's point, he's a very blue collar guy. But he's like he's like very like in love with Megatron because Megatron is like a gladiator transformer. And Megatron fights in the Gladiator fights and all this stuff. So like he looks up to Megatron. Orion Pax does, and then Megatron turns on him, and then injures him, and they eventually he's I don't know. There isn't like the whole like War for Cybertron story arc in the original G1 cartoon that you see in like the IDW comics later on, where you have the where you have like the Prime like the Council of the Primes that awards the Matrix to the worthy successor, and they choose Orion Pax, and then I remember in the IDW comic there's this comment like they give him the Matrix, and all of a sudden they're like, doesn't he look bigger now? Like he gets bigger, like when you see in Transformers the movie when Rodimus or Hot Rod becomes Rodimus Prime. There isn't that in the G1. The G1 cartoon was feeling its way through the mythos, and in the original 2 seasons we don't even know the Matrix exists. So they're just feeling their way through the mythos. In the later incantations, such as the game that AV mentioned, the War for Cybertron, and then the comic books too. It's much more fleshed out, much more detail oriented, so to speak. But just go to the chat real fast. Let's see here. I think Paul says it. Let's see here. Paul said it always comes back to Star Wars. Yes, it does. It always does. It always will.
It does.
Following Ed5, aka Down Under Genesis says, I love these rants. They're epic. Following Freddie says Luke died of a Force overdose. Yes, he did. Danny Lee says Transformers the movie gave us great soundtrack too. Hell yeah, it did. It's one of my favorite parts. That's part of the. It's one of the stars of that movie is the soundtrack.
It is.
Quick side note. I mean, when I first saw Boogie Nights and Dirk Diggler singing "You Got the Touch," I mean, the movie was already fantastic. But that immediately put it in like my top 10 movies of the 90s. Once I saw that scene, I was just like, "Oh my god, Paul Thomas Anderson, salute!" He put in Stan Bush the Touch in Boogie Nights.
I love Stan Bush. I hope Stan Bush got a big fat paycheck for that one. I love Stan Bush. Let's see here. Following Freddie says, I would hate to see what Disney would do to the Transformers. I think Uncle Pat could agree with that one. Yeah. Following Freddie says, the best Transformer ever is Megan Fox. She is nice when she's under the hood in the first Transformer. When she's under the hood of that Camaro, the Bumblebee in the first movie.
Guys, the thing with her, she has short thumbs. Short thumbs. Like the thumbs, they're short. They only have half a thumbnail. It's weird. It's like having a tail.
That's so like.
Dude, what are you drinking again, bro?
No, look. Yeah, super
Oh,
cute.
hi.
And then all I saw, the first time I saw the short thumbs, I was like, what's wrong with her thumbs? Short thumbs. No good. She's not even on my list. Moving on. Short thumbs.
Following Freddie says, way better than the GoBots. I had a few GoBots. GoBots were great because your parents would buy you GoBots because Transformers. They were cheap. GoBots were like. GoBots. Yeah, GoBots were like $4 each. Where I might be totally off on this. I haven't.
The price of Transformers.
Yeah, they were a lot cheaper. Tonka really, and GoBots were a successful line. People don't give them credit. They lasted a long time. Yeah. They didn't have the longevity and the cultural impact of the Transformers, but they lasted.
I know. I didn't want them, though. I remember my parents getting me some. I'm like, what's this? Well, it's a Transformer. It's a GoBot.
No, it's not.
This. My mom got so upset at me because I was like,
did you pull it? Hey, Uncle Pat, did you pull another? You ought to be ashamed.
You ought to be ashamed, Mom.
What is this?
All right, guys, real fast. We're almost at the 2:23 mark. Let's try to get this wrapped up by at the 2.5 hour mark. We've gone way too long, but that's okay. We've had a great stream tonight. I don't regret that at all. Going a little over when it's awesome. Okay, so just to wrap up, put a bow on this Transformers the movie talk real fast. What's your favorite part of the movie? Trav, go first. You've seen it just recently.
Yeah, man. Dude, my favorite part's actually when they're on the quintessence and they're judging the guys and they're like, you're innocent, but then they still kill them. Poor Kravitz.
Yeah.
That part, just the shock value at that part of the movie, man.
He starts laughing. He's all, ha 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 ha.
Dude, it's dynamite, man. You just after all the darkness that's happened and then they do that, I was just cracking up.
That is pretty good.
Awesome. How about you, AV? What's your favorite part of Transformers the movie?
Oh, I mean, it's got, it's the default. It's got to be, Optimus Prime's last ride,
Yeah.
You're talking about when he's just like, he mauls over the Decepticon and then he jumps in the air and he's like taking out like four Decepticons. And it was, you guys swayed me a little bit in this conversation, a little bit. It was a hero's death. It was a warrior death. But I will say, like, I did watch it last night, and are we going to go to cons, like, worst thing about the movie, too? Or
go ahead, man. You can go ahead.
Okay, well, just a funny observation while I was watching it last night. Well, like, the scene when they're on the Junkion planet, and, they have, like, a little dance number, like, kind of, like, similar to the Ewoks, But, it's like right in the middle of, like, where Unicron's just, like, devastating the universe. And also, Ultra Magnus is still like laying in pieces, and they're having this they're having a good time, And,
dude, it's like a Weird Al Yankovic song, man. It's great.
Yeah, it was. Dare to be stupid. Dare to be stupid.
Yeah, dude, it was awesome.
But it was just like the moments in the like the I don't want to say I hate it, but it was just funny observations from the movie. It was just like the moments like the backdrop is Unicron's destroying everything. Oh my God, he's killing it. All these Transformers, all these Autobots have died. But like the moments that they try to like interject little jokes, trying to still appeal to like 10-year-old minds. But it's just like, yeah, there's like an Ewok dance number, and then it's like, like 2 minutes earlier, like Ultra Magnus got blown to pieces. And they're like basically dancing like feet from his carcass, and then they put it back together. You don't know that at the point.
But
the song was "Dare to Be Stupid" too.
Dare to be
That's
stupid.
what they were dancing to, which is even more terrible.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna dance, it should have been after they brought Magnus back, not before. That's what I'm saying.
Fair point. Trav, what was your least favorite part of the movie? Just to circle back to you before we get to Uncle Pat.
Yeah, so my least favorite part, I'll just say it was the character guy. And it was I don't know the Autobot's name, but it was the real fast guy, the real fast talker guy.
Blur.
Yeah. To me, he was a little annoying. But so I'd call that out.
How about you, Uncle Pat? Favorite part of the movie?
All right, I'll give my favorite and my least favorite. Favorite is the scene. I mean, there's so many good things in this, but the scene where they've just taken over the Autobot ship on the way to Autobot City, and Ironhide's like, no, he's like climbing onto Megatron's leg, and Megatron just looks down at him, says something like, such heroic nonsense.
Yeah.
And just like shoots him in the head. And that's just so freaking metal. I love that scene. So awesome.
That's a good choice.
I hated Ironhide so much. Like,
but Ironhide was like his Riker. He was like his number 2. That was big.
Well, but I just hated his personality. Like every time I look at a strain my circuit sizzle prime, like just Ironhide, shut the fuck up. You're such a piece of shit. Just shut up. So when Megatron killed him, I was happy, over the moon. But just how gritty and like, oh my God, he shot him in the head. There was no looking down the barrel of his arm cannon, just
fusion cannon.
Cannon. Yeah. There was no coming back.
There was no coming back, right? And the thing I hated the most about the movie was how they made Grimlock to be such a boob. He was such the Jar Jar of that. Right? He was tough, but at the same time, me not fool, me king. Like
I just kind of felt like
there
they
were
were
moments like almost like Home Alone, where he'd be like,
yeah, me B. Grimlock, Love Cup Story.
Although, right.
They was just kind of like the Dinobots were basically, again, the situation is dire, and they're just like they're refusing to get on the ship. Like Hot Rod's having to lasso them, and it's like ship,
push them on the butt, like
Right.
what are you doing?
But I thought that was awesome. 'Cause that's who the Dinobots are. Like they barely fight with the Autobots, right? They're kind of like they just do their own thing. Dude, I also liked Devastator. Devastator in the movie is awesome too.
He is.
Yeah. There's so many things I love about this movie, guys. Okay. I'm going to say when I was in 6th grade, I moved to a new school, and I was in middle school, and I should have been in elementary school, but just the way the school systems were from my old school to my new school, I was thrust into middle school. And so everyone in my class in 6th grade were kind of more emotionally mature, or at least they thought they were, than I was at the time. They were all like, we're dating so-and-so and all this. And I'm still like daydreaming about Transformers, the movie. I spent that entire school year daydreaming about Transformers, the movie, because I didn't have any friends yet in Broomfield, my new town. And I used to just walk the schoolyard by myself, daydreaming about this film. And I would run. I could cycle it in my mind from beginning to end. I mean, I could play. I had seen it so many times on VHS that I could replay the film in my own head, and it was so comforting to me. I love the scene what Uncle Pat described when Ironhide, Prowl, Brawn, and I think Ratchet are flying the shuttle to Autobot City to relay or to bring an Energon supply run to Autobot City, and the Decepticons blow through the fucking wall. And at this point, you realize this film is going to get fucking real fast. This isn't you're not sitting at home. This is not 4:30 in the afternoon. You're not watching the cartoon at home. This is in the movie theater, and and Transformers are going to die. And all of a sudden, and Megatron goes, "Die, Autobots!" And he flips and transforms, and this 80s fucking soundtrack comes on, and all of a sudden, and Starscream just assassinates Prowl right in front of you, hits him right inside of the Datsun 280ZX windshield or headlight, and fucking smoke comes out of his mouth, and he falls over. Yeah. And then Ratchet I'm sorry, Brawn was the first to go. Brawn charges them. Brawn goes, "Decepticons!" And he charges them, and he takes a fucking full shoulder shot from Megatron in gun mode and just keels over, and you just hear that clunk. And then of course Prowl gets up and gets killed, and then both Ratchet and Ironhide get up and both just take direct shots, point blank range from Megatron in their giant windshields, and they're fucking dead. And then of course, to piggyback off Pat, Starscream and Megatron are having their usual banter about what the hell they should do. "You're an idiot, Starscream. When we slip through their early warning systems in their own shuttle and destroy Autobot City, the Autobots will be vanquished forever." And then, of course, Ironhide, per Pat's point, wraps around Megatron's leg in like a dying futile effort. "No!" And, of course, to Pat's point, "Such heroic nonsense." Kaboom! And they instantly go to Hot Rod and Daniel fishing. So awesome. It's goddamn good.
So dark to such a light moment.
Yeah.
Right? I will say, I want to give, not to go too deep because I know we're running long here.
We're running low on time. We got to wrap this up here in like 10 minutes.
I would say a nod, I'm not sure the term I'm looking for, but an honorable mention would be when Starscream's, and I think this showed up in the chat, when Starscream is being crowned, right, his coronation. And, and it dawns when Galvatron shows up. And, Megatron, is that you? And he's like, "Let me give you a hint."
No, he doesn't. It's not even that. He's not even that. He's more spoken than that. Because you see Cyclonus fly in, and it disrupts. He's like, "Who disrupts my coronation?" And then Galvatron comes out of Cyclonus as Cyclonus transforms behind him. And Starscream's like, Megatron?
Yeah.
Is that you? And Galvatron's like, here's a hint, and just blows him away.
Oh,
That's
he's
cool.
blowing him away.
That is a
He,
great line.
He shoots him, and then he just turns all gray and just starts disintegrating by
he
pieces
crumbles
until his
crumbles.
crown rolls down the
Yeah. Okay. And so another favorite part, obviously, to AV's point is Optimus Prime going out. I won't get into that. I already talked about that scene. I love that scene too. But then I love that when you watch the death of Optimus Prime, it's this long, drawn out scene in a cartoon. And they don't only just show he dies, he fucking dies. He turns gray, he turns his head, he's dead. And then it instantly goes to this scene of Unicron, and you see Unicron watching this, right? And he sees the Matrix get taken to Ultra Magnus, and the Matrix is the only thing in the universe that can destroy Unicron. It is his kryptonite, and he watches that, and you just see, he screams in anguish that the Matrix still exists in the universe. And then the contrary scene where you watch the Autobots mourn the death of Optimus Prime, you get this other scene where the Decepticons are like staggering back from the battle on Autobot City in Astro Train. And they're like, Astro Train's like, jettison some weight, or we'll never make it back to Cybertron. And the Decepticons don't give a fuck about each other. And they're instantly infighting. And you see the scene where after Starscream they toss out the Insecticons, they toss out the 1984 Seekers, Thundercracker and Skywarp, and then Megatron, and Starscream is carrying Megatron. And we've all watched through the first 2 seasons of the series, Megatron and Starscream's infighting. And you just know that satisfaction on Starscream's face. And Chris Latta, the voice actor who did Starscream, rest in peace. He was a great comedian, great voice actor. He just says, Megatron's like, wait, I still function. And the animation is so good because Megatron actually has like liquid coming out of his eyes, like fluid, like lubrication fluid coming out of his eyes after his battle with Optimus Prime. He's so damaged. Then Starscream's like, wanna bet? And you see Megatron get wiped under the wing into oblivion.
Awesome.
So fucking good. And then of course Starscream like decides he's going to take his rank as Decepticon leader, and they start infighting, and they're so good. Like you have the Decepticon and the Soundwave and the cassettes like make their case, and then you like the Constructicons like the Constructicons are like. Yeah, the Constructicons like, the Constructicon form Devastator, the most powerful robot. We should rule. You got Scrapper there. And then they start fighting, and you see poor Astro Train as this giant, like, dumbass rumbles going on inside of him stagger back to Cybertron.
Yep.
So fucking good. So fucking good. Then, per Uncle Pat's point, you have the great exchange between Galvatron and Starscream. Of course, the transformation is a great scene too when Megatron meets Unicron. That's a great scene. Then there is a little bit of a lull in the middle of this film where I don't really like it. I mean, I love it, but I don't. You have the whole scene and then the animation kind of takes a dig or two in the middle of the film. You see, like, and then when they're like cleaning up Autobot City, and there's a couple scenes in there where they're like, the animation takes a digger. It's like it's not as good. And then you see, when they get chased across the galaxy by Galvatron and his new horde, Cyclonus and the sweeps. That's really, it's okay. It's not great. And then they go to Quintessa, and then of course you have Cup and Hot Rod on Quintessa. That's pretty awesome when they're in that underwater ocean scene. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Really good. The animation is amazing. Like you have all these.
Dude, I mean, it's a fast-moving movie. There's a ton of action, man.
Yeah, I love that scene so much. Then, of course, you have my least favorite scene is the whole like Daniel story arc with Daniel learning to transform in Spike's exosuit. It's kind of weak.
Yeah, I mean, again, the situation's dire. Autobot City's like on fire, and they're like, "Hang on, Daniel." And it's like, man.
Right.
Yeah, they have that whole scene after.
Great, but man, we're in a bad place.
Yeah, they have the whole scene there where Daniel's trying to learn to walk in the exosuit after they've blown the shuttle halfway apart, and it's like this. You'll get it. Just keep trying, kiddo.
That's right.
Yeah, it's not so good. It's not so good. Then, of course, my favorite scene, because I am Team Rodimus, is of course the ending and it has Arthurian roots in it. I swear to God, when Galvatron and Hot Rod are teeing off, and Hot Rod is so overmatched in this fight, and he is just scrapping. And the scene where Hot Rod is he's not trying to engage Galvatron because he knows if he fights Galvatron head on, he's going to get crushed. And so he's using his exhaust port blasters, and he's shooting him, and then he transforms into his car mode, and he shines his headlights on him. He's trying to just guerrilla tactics against Galvatron. And again, at the end, Galvatron overwhelms him, and Hot Rod transforms, and Galvatron wraps his fucking massive hands around his throat. And he says, "First Prime, then Ultra Magnus." And of course, this gives you this nice tee off that Galvatron still remembers being Megatron. He's the same guy. And you get that. And he's like, "If you Autobots didn't die so easily, maybe I'd have a sense of satisfaction." And then the Matrix opens. And you hear Optimus Prime, like Obi-Wan Kenobi, telling Luke to shoot the fucking proton torpedoes down the exhaust ports of the Death Star. It's the same scene, guys. And you hear Optimus Prime, Peter Cullen, in that wonderful voice, "Arise, Rodimus Prime." And Rodimus Prime, Hot Rod, like, turns 3 sizes bigger and fucking just like, and he's a new dude. And he's like, "This is the end of the road for you, Galvatron." And he picks up Galvatron and shoves him through the fucking wall. So fucking good. And then you got the Scarecrow touch. And you got the Autobots, and they're in Unicron, and everything's going to hell. And they look up, and Daniel says, "Look there." And they see Rodimus Prime, and he's got this explosion going behind him, this fire. And he comes, and he says the line that he's now the leader. He's like, "Autobots, transform and roll out." And he transforms into this awesome, fiery fucking RV from hell. And they roll through Unicron's eye as Unicron's tearing off his fucking leg. and he explodes. And the movie's over. And Hot Rod is now Rodimus Prime, and he says, "Let this mark the end of the Cybertronian Wars as we march forward to a new age of peace and happiness. Till all are one! Till all are one!"
I got a question. So did you like the movie, Ryan?
I loved it. I think I broke a glass. But I loved it.
I can't wait to watch this on replay.
That was well done there, Knick-Knack.
So anyway, that's why I'm Team Rodimus. That's why I love this movie. Not that I don't love Optimus, but it's great. It's great. All right, guys. Well, let's do any final thoughts now that I've done my little puppet show.
And I can't top what you just did there, Knick-Knack. I don't know. I don't have anything to add.
And we're done.
This has been a lot of fun.
Yeah, let's end on that note, man. I mean, come on.
Let's go.
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. You guys have been great, guys. We did hit a new record here. We had 19 people here at one point in the chat. We got 13 now. We held steady. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. Everyone in the chat, thank you guys so much. Let's do a couple quick chat just to address the chat before we go real fast. General Grievous was just doing Autobot quotes all night, and that's great. Danny Lee says, "Petro Rabbits." Yeah, I'll give you Petro Rabbits. So good. Yeah. Good. Yeah. General Grievous says, "I want stories. Cup me Grimlock Awards." Yeah, I love that shit. He's just quoting shit. So awesome. Ed Five says, "Man, I need to watch this again. I was the guy watching the Smurfs and She-Ra, but at least I had a little guy chub over Adora." I think he's talking about some She-Ra characters there. That's awesome. She-Ra. Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. Following Freddy says, "Remember the Michael Jackson Transformer in Moonwalker?" I vaguely remember Moonwalker. Do you guys remember Moonwalker?
Yes.
I don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Wait, are we talking about something else?
Moonraker. No, not Moonraker.
Moonwalker.
The Michael Jackson movie, Moonwalker.
Moonwalker. Oh yeah, I never.
Not the James Bond that I have behind me, the poster. No, Moonwalker.
Right.
I vaguely, I saw that movie once. It's cool. It's got a bunch of cool animation sequences. Michael Jackson. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Joe Pesci. Yeah. Let's see here. Paul says, peace, guys. Love you. So thank you so much, guys. Thanks, Packer Brewer Paul. And then Danny Lee says, night, guys. Thanks for an entertaining stream. You betcha. We love you guys. And Ed 5 says, yeah, cheers, Freddie. I'm stoked. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us. Guys, any final thoughts? AD, anything?
No, man. Like I said, man, you definitely saved the best for last. So I mean, this is a lot of fun, man. I hope you guys have me back. It was really fun.
We've said it before, dude. There's always a chair here for you. Always. Trav, anything?
I think it's time for the universal sign-off rather than the universal greeting.
Bowie Grana with mini bomb. Uncle Pat, anything, buddy?
All I would say is, besides thanks to all the guys for hanging out with us. I kind of feel like we had a really good talk here on Transformers, and I like I said, there's the big four of the cartoons we grew up with. I don't think it'd be a bad idea in the future to have a little bit of a comeback on the Joes or Masters of the Universe or Thundercats even, for future chats. So I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Absolutely, we will do that. We will do that.
Yep.
All righty, guys. Well, I'll finish up here, guys. Thank you so much for watching, guys, tonight. Please do like the video. Very important. And if you're watching this on replay, thanks so much for hanging with us all this time. That was awesome. This is the longest stream we've ever had. We're at 2 hours, 45 minutes. Way too long. I'm sorry. It just was a good topic. Great panel. And more importantly, great chat from everybody involved. So thank you guys so much for being here, everyone watching us live and chatting. You guys make the show as always. So anyway, so do like the stream. If you're not a subscriber, man, hit that subscribe button. I only got 85 to go, guys, till 1,000. And that's like huge. This has been the slowest channel to ever get 1,000 ever. That's okay. That's okay. I'm okay with that. But do hit the subscribe button if you're not a subscriber.
I don't think that's going to be a problem after that speech you just gave there, Knick-Knack.
I don't know about that. You guys are great. Thank you, guys. And I want to thank my panel. You guys are awesome as always. You guys, I couldn't do this without you guys, seriously. Thank you guys so much. All right, guys. Like I said, that's going to wrap things up here on the Plastic Planet. And guys, life is so very, very, very short. So get out there and fill it with some
plastic crap.
Peace out, everyone.
Plastic crap. All right, guys. Later, everybody. Later. Love you. Bye. Oh, I got a Clone Wars video coming later in the week. Look for that as well over the weekend, probably. All right, guys. Later. Love you. Bye.